Hey, Tim. Yeah, we put Jody to bed, so I figured I'd wait around a minute or two and see if anybody else had come on, but they didn't, so I did. Annette, folks looking for a place to go, huh? Big Clam. Yeah, buddy. That's a habit I've had my whole life. Wonder I hadn't rubbed it all away. Well, I waited, David, to see if anybody else is going to go right away, so hey, Chucky. But they didn't, so I came on up here. I figured folks are looking for a place to go. I got a head of hair now. That's a pretty good head of hair for 75 years old. And it ain't a heck of a lot of gray in there. All right, KP. Look, there's the link up there. I still ain't learned how to pin the link. So I just have to keep doing this. I don't know how to pin the link up there. Hey, Mr. Rogers. Yeah, and you talking about thick. No, we didn't get much, David. Our power never did blink. You could see it shining on the trees. But 31 was the lowest temperature we got during all that rain. And it just wasn't cold enough for it to build up big like it did back in 94. Now, it's supposed to be 26 here tonight. If we had got those temperatures the last 3 or 4 days, when it was raining 24 hours a day, we would have been in trouble. I'd have been south of here. I guarantee you, we'd have lost power for no telling how long. And I'd have gone south because I ain't going to live through another one. CP just lost power in North Mississippi. I don't know. I hadn't heard back from him, but I bet a transformer blew up there. So they had ice and they had damage in south of Memphis. They had a lot of power, trees down south of here, where down around Bentonville or whatever that town is down there, Monticello. See that stuff, Brian B in here? Oh yeah, there he is. Brian B, there's the link if any of y'all want to come up here. Well, you're gonna have to dim that shine off of that glare off of that head, cause I got bad eyes and all that glare off your head kind of give me a headache. Put a cap on or something. And I'll keep my legs under the desk and you'll be all right. Yeah, David, you know where Cleveland is. It's north of me about 30 air miles. My little sister lives all 4 or 5 miles north of Cleveland, and boy, they caught the dickens up there. The highways iced over. Yeah, and see, Gillette ain't nowhere from me. Air miles. Hey, Keith P, let me get him in here. Hey, Kenny.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, just same old, just another day.
Hey, I finally caught one of you live.
Hey, yeah, y'all, yeah, well, that's the way it is. Man, I lost 12 pounds in 30 days.
Yeah, they.
Sure have. I'm down in the 230s now.
What is it? Fermented cabbage.
That and beets and onions and the pickles. snacking on that stuff along.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
heck, I feel better. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that stuff, but it's something. I wish more folks would do it.
Yeah, I've been looking at it. I looked at some of them videos today. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna get me a batch going. I got a couple things I got to get first, but I'm gonna get it going.
Well, we're going down to my youngest son's house in the morning to carry him out for lunch for his birthday. It was day before yesterday, and they interested in it. And my daughter-in-law went to the store today, and I told her instead of buying cabbage, just get 2 or 3 pounds that slaw, slaw mixture you can buy in the packages.
Yeah, already chopped up. That's a good
It's
idea.
already chopped up, and it's got red cabbage and green cabbage and the carrots. It's already got all that sliced up in it.
Yeah, that'll be good, man.
And you can make the same thing out of that. See, because that's all you're going to do with the cabbage, chop it up.
Yeah, hey, Chucky, I hadn't spoke to you, but everybody in chat I hadn't spoke to, how y'all doing tonight?
So, yeah, my leg's been cheering me on, Brian B. Yeah, my legs are cheering me on. They like me
Yeah,
losing that weight.
yeah,
But we're
man. It
going
makes you feel better too. You can move better than everything.
but yeah,
Hey,
we're gonna
Ronnie.
make. She went and she texted me back. I told her to get 2 pounds. And she bought 4 pounds.
Oh, mercy.
So
You
we're
must
gonna
like it
fill.
too, then, don't you?
Well, see, they live in Jackson. That's a big town for Mississippi. That's the state capital, and they got all kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
that grocery store carries fermented sauerkraut in the tinfoil pouches. They carry it. And over Christmas, when I was up in Arkansas and ate some at my other daughter-in-law's house, I was telling them about it because I was having stomach trouble when I was up there right after Christmas. I ate something, and I think I had food poisoning, but I
Oh,
was sick.
Lord.
Well, shouldn't even gone up there, but you don't get to see them enough, so I went. And I asked
Yeah.
my daughter-in-law if she had any yogurt or something like that. I think I need some enzymes in my stomach. She said, I got something way better than yogurt for probiotics. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And she had a pouch of that garlic sauerkraut,
Uh-huh.
and they had eaten some of it. She had eaten some of it. I sat there at that bar stool, on that bar stool, and ate that whole pouch. That was the best tasting stuff. Uh, yeah, Dion, I wish he's still there. He was good for this state, Brian B. He was good for this state. We got plenty of thugs down here, and they broke in his house as soon as he moved there. But anyway, I ate that stuff, and the next morning I was fine, and I couldn't believe it.
I heard
I
it.
must,
Yeah, Tim, Johnny did make Jackson. I'm going to Jackson. Yeah, that
yeah,
was a good song. Yeah, I'm glad it helped you. I mean, I'm really interested because I love that kind of stuff anyway. And I
well,
already,
I
I
tell you
already
what,
think at Kubacha, but look, I was watching them in films today on how to do this thing that you was telling me about. And
mhm.
I seen one on there where you can make your own kombucha at home too.
Sure, it's easy if you
Yep.
want to make it.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff is expensive in the store. I like to make my own here at home for what I want
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. David, the name of it is Cleveland, Cleveland, Cleveland brand. And it'll be in the cool department, and it's in a tinfoil Ziploc that you can't see in it. And they got several flavors. It ain't just garlic. They got several flavors. And I'm sure because she got hers in Conway. So I'm sure Little Rock stores got it. I see our stores don't have it. And that's what put me to making it. Because I wanted some and I wanted it bad.
You get it already chopped up like that though. That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out tomorrow. I'm canning them a jar and all the stuff to do it with because they got the salt.
And
Most
that's what I want to talk to you about. The videos that I seen today didn't say anything about measuring out no salt or nothing. They just said put salt in it. And to show the lady making it, she just sprinkled salt all in it and worked it up, with her hands. And then she
okay,
put it over in a jar.
right, okay. I guess that's what it is, David. But it's Cleveland brand. The way I do it, Kenny,
Uh,
is and because I'm scared I'm gonna mess up. Them people that's been doing it and doing it and doing it
uh,
for years, they know how much to use. There's one lady that I really watch, and she does everything. Raise a big garden, and she does everything. She puts four teaspoons of salt per quart.
okay.
Teaspoons now, four.
All right.
But what I do is I weigh my vegetables. I got scales. I put them in a sack. I told you about that.
Yeah.
And weigh it. And write that down in grams. And then I put it in the jar.
So, Skull, right?
And then I just pour plain water in there on spring water.
Right.
And I put the water in there to fill it up to where it's supposed to be. Now cabbage, you don't put no water in cabbage. It
Okay.
makes its own water. And then I pour that water out and I measure it and I can put that back. I know how much a quart of water weighs in grams, and I figure out how much water I got, what part of a quart I got there. And then I add the weight of the cucumbers and the weight of the water, and then multiply it times 0.025, and that tells me how much salt to put in the jar, in the
Okay.
mix. But these people that do it all the time, they put 4 teaspoons to a quart. That's how they do it. They don't worry about it.
And that's for the cabbage.
No, you don't put any water in cabbage.
Now I know you told me that, but I'm talking about, do you put the same amount of salt in the cabbage as you talking about doing the other?
I weigh the cabbage, I core it out, I get the core out of it, put it all that in what's left in the sack and weigh it, and then multiply that times 0.25, and that tells
Yeah.
you how much salt to weigh out. And
Okay.
you chop the cabbage up, put a layer of cabbage in the bowl and sprinkle a little salt, and then you put another layer of cabbage and sprinkle a little salt, and you keep doing that till you used up all the salt in the cabbage.
All right. Now, what kind of salt do you use? Because what videos I was
Pink,
looking at, they use special kind of salt.
pink Himalayan salt.
Okay.
Unless you can buy sea salt that don't have any additives in it, anti-caking and all that. You don't use table salt.
All
Now,
right. They said that's what they say in the videos, not to use the table salt. Yeah.
now CP uses, he does this too. He's been doing it longer than me. Now CP uses Martin's rock salt, I think it is.
Okay. That's like you use when you make ice cream. Then.
I guess, I don't know. But see, if you put 4 teaspoons of rock salt in there, I don't know how much salt you got because it's so coarse, you see.
Yeah, it is big, like bigger pieces.
And I know the last batch of cabbage kraut he made, he had to throw it away because it was too salty. So see, he got too much salt in there.
Yeah.
Now that's what he told me. Now I don't hate Skull Rush. Hey, Lance, the cool guy.
What's up, Lance? My brother, what's going on, man?
But if you use that slaw mixture, you know it comes in a pound sack, so you know how much you got. You got a pound.
Right. All you
And
gotta do is just calculate your salt and put it in there. Huh?
yeah, well,
Then you gotta work it up and squish it like you said, and put it in a jar, and it'll make water itself as a ferment, right?
little bit of water come in that bowl you mash it up in. Now let me ask you this: have you got any scales to measure salt in?
Well, the only thing, like you mentioned the other night, I can use my fishing scales. That's the only ones I got here in the house.
Will it measure like 22 grams?
I think it does grams. I have to look at it and see. But
Well,
I thought about it too, looking at this thing. I said I was going to go and try to get me a scale or something from Walmart, you know.
well, now if you're just gonna do cabbage, this is how you do it. You take the cabbage before you ever do anything to it. If you chop up the cabbage, all right. If you buy the sacks of cabbage already chopped up, all right. Hey, turtle lady, you
Hey,
pack it
turtle lady.
in your jar, whatever you gonna use to contain it. What size jar you gonna use?
Well, I was thinking about starting out like a half a gallon jar, big mouth half a gallon jar.
Now that's what I like. You
Yeah.
take that cabbage, that slaw, whatever, and pack it in there. Pack it in there.
Uh,
And leave about an inch or two, an inch and a half head space at the top after you got it packed in there good.
right.
All right. In a clean bowl that'll hold it all, take all that back out of there and weigh the cabbage.
Okay.
Put it in a Walmart bag that don't weigh nothing. Put all that cabbage out of that jar. You're going to have to dig it out, because it's packed in there.
Right.
Put all that in a jar, in a sack, and weigh that sack, and then multiply that times 0.025. No. If it's a quart jar, a half a gallon jar, I'm getting you confused. I know if it's a half a gallon jar, that's 2 quarts.
Right.
That's 8 teaspoons.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
And that'll get you away from having to measure the salt, weigh the salt.
Yeah.
Pack it in there and then take it out and weigh it. Well, you still got to take it out and layer it and put the salt on it, no matter what.
Well, I was wondering if you buy them bags already chopped up, like you said, it says a pound, then you don't really need to weigh it. You already got the weight there.
You got to wait if you just but you don't know how much it's going to take to fill up a half a gallon.
Right. That's true.
See, that's what you got to do is figure out how much of all that. Now, if you just put 1 pound in a half a gallon jar, you got it made. You ain't, or 2 pounds. You see, if you stop it but what if you put 2.5 pounds? Or what?
Right. Well, I was just. It don't matter. Let's say if I like put 2 1-pound bags and I just stop it, I can ferment it with just that. It ain't got to be all the way to the top, do it?
No, it sure don't.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. If you use round numbers, even numbers,
keep it simple.
That'll keep it simple for you to start with.
Yeah.
I know a half a gallon will hold 2 bags of that stuff. I know that.
Okay.
Because a half a gallon will hold a 3 pound, over 3 pound cabbage. You see? A half a gallon jar will hold a head of cabbage that weighs over 3 pounds. Not 4 pounds, but over 3.
Right. I got you.
Because I've done 2 half gallons and 1 gallon.
Well, how would that thing work? Like if you know what you got and you calculate your salt and you layer it as you put it in the jar the first time, would that work? Or that wouldn't work?
You got to mash it. See, it takes an hour and a half in the bowl massaging that slaw mix.
Right. I didn't know if you could do it in a jar or not.
You can't, because you can't get your hand down to the bottom to massage it.
I got you.
So you got to massage it in that big bowl. You want to use a big bowl. It can be plastic or it can be metal or whatever, but you got to, that bowl got to be sterilized. You got to scrub it first.
Yeah.
Hot soap and water, just like you washing it to put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And even when I take mine out from under the cabinet, I'll wash it again. I'll wash it before I ever start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Even though it's already clean.
I got big cleaners. I just have to remember to wash them again.
Yeah, and you got to wash your hands.
Yeah.
And you got to dry your hands Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa, how you doing, girl?
Because you don't want that chlorine if you got well water though, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't well water, you can use well water because it ain't got any additives in it.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
and save. Listen to me now. Well, if
Oh,
you're gonna use a slaw, you ain't got to worry about it. But you got to get you a rock. I know this sounds stupid.
I looked on Amazon some of them weights that you can get to
Yeah,
put
but
in there.
I'm telling you how to do it the cheap way the first time to see if you're gonna like fooling with it.
I got
You can either get you a rock or the way I do cabbage now, because it's so funny and it'll float, is I take a Ziploc bag, a regular Ziploc bag, and I put some spring water in that bag, and I put about a half a tablespoon of that salt in there, and mix it up and shake it up, and then I get all of you don't put a whole lot of water in there, but maybe a half a cup. I don't think I ever put a whole cup of water in there, and I just put some salt in there just so it'll be salty water in case the bag leaks. You understand?
you. Right. I got you.
All right, now get all the air out of that bag and seal it up. And this is after you got your cabbage in the jar and the water. And now here's something else. If you know you got the right salt ratio on the cabbage, and you squares it up, and it didn't get enough moisture, enough liquid to cover the cabbage, you got to pour a little bit of water in there to cover that cabbage about an inch.
Okay.
It's got to be underwater. This stuff is anaerobic, and that means no oxygen.
Right. So, in other words, if you don't get enough water, the cabbage it is already to add some water in it to cover it up. Then.
Just plain good water, spring water or
Right.
tap
It just
water.
right as it will. Yep.
You ain't gonna have to add much. You won't even have to add a cup, I'm sure.
Okay. But you
It'll
said it
be
takes an
half a
hour and
cup.
a half of working it in the bowl for all the water to come out.
You work it for about 3, 4, 5 minutes, turning it and squeezing it and turning it and squeezing it. Then you get all the cabbage off your hand, wash your hands, and let it sit for 30 minutes. And I believe in the 30-minute rule. Go do something else. If you
Right.
wait an hour, that's okay, but at least 30 minutes. Then you come back and you do it again. I do it 3 times. I do that 3 times.
I
And
got
let
you.
it sit 30 minutes each time. And you're going to be surprised how much liquid comes up in there. You're mashing it and working it. And then you put all that in the jar and pour the liquid in there on top of it, and it should cover it. And if it don't, add a little water to cover it.
Right.
Mash it in that jar tight. Mash it in that jar tight. Take a wooden spoon and mash it in there good. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right, and then if you have to, add a little bit of water. Then take that plastic bag, put it down there on top of it to hold that cabbage down, and put a rock right there on top of that bag to hold it down.
I got you.
All right, now that rock, and you're gonna find one out there in the driveway or in the gravel road somewhere. Where that'll fit in there easy. It's a weight. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You boil that. Put that rock in some water on the stove and boil it for about 2 or 3 minutes. Take your pliers and get it out of there, and then wash it with hot soapy water. Okay?
Yeah, you gotta get it clean, that's for sure.
Yeah, you want to you sterilize it, then it's clean. Don't go out there and get no rock that's got holes all in it, got dirt up.
Right, I got you. I know what you mean.
Put that bag in there, and it'll take the shape of it's got water in it. It'll take the shape of that jar and the top of that cabbage, and put that little rock right there on top of it, and put the top on your lid tight, and then screw it back to leave it loose. Because if you don't, it'll explode.
Yeah, they said if you want to close it all the way up, you could, but once a day you need to crack it.
Yeah, if you want to. But see, I don't trust that.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm afraid that thing will build up too much pressure before 24 hours go around and blow
It
the
won't
jaw.
it won't do that, but it's the chance that you might forget to do it.
Oh yeah, I forget everything.
Yeah, and look here, man. I got them vintage tops out there that I bought off of.
I
I
was
ordered.
looking at them. I was looking at them on Amazon. Where
Well,
you
if
can
you
buy.
get them, get the one that's got the little nipple sticking up. Don't get the flat one that's got the flap that blows up. Because I done
Okay.
pushed one that I got a jar of cabbage out there that pushed that thing plumb out of the jar.
Good Lord.
What happened? It blew the bag up against it and it sealed the holes on it.
uh
And I didn't have the lid just screwed down tight, but it's rubber. The thing is rubber, and
right.
it pushed it up out of the ring, up out of there. And man, when I let the pressure off of it, and that bag kept following it up there, see, and kept them holes, the vents closed.
Yeah.
And when I let that pressure off that thing, whoosh, it
I
blew that damn liquid everywhere out of there.
bet it did.
So it did.
Mm.
So I went and got me a plastic bottle.
Hey Troy, what's up, brother? Welcome in.
Hey, Joe, and cut that bottle in half and set that jar in there. So that stuff was running all out of the cabinet and everything out there in the utility room.
I heard that.
But I'm shortening your learning curve.
Right. I'm taking it in. I got you. I'm
Yes,
real
we
interested
did.
in doing it. I'm gonna ferment a little bit of everything eventually, but I'm gonna start with making the sauerkraut to start with.
Yeah, that's the easiest, see.
Yeah, well, I love that stuff. I could eat the devil every day. I eat it all the time.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, if you're gonna put garlic in it, oh, it's too many. It's so many videos, Tim, on that stuff.
Oh, I
I
watched a
forgot to
bunch of them
tell you
today.
about the garlic. You want a garlic flavor?
Yeah.
All right, to a half a gallon. To a gallon, I put 8 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
To a half gallon, I put 4 cloves.
Okay.
And you peel the cloves, and they're big cloves. Now, don't use no little bitty cloves. If you're
No,
gonna
they
use a
said
little
leave them
one,
whole. What I seen on the videos today is leave them
no,
whole.
don't leave them whole. Take your butcher knife, lay on it flat, and mash them,
Oh yeah.
and put them over in the bowl with the salt when you're doing the salt.
Okay. Well, the one
Don't
I
leave,
seen today,
don't leave them.
the lady broke in little clothes apart, and each little pieces. Then she peeled the skin all off of them and cut the ends off each end, and she just dropped it in there like that. But you need to mash
No,
it up.
no, you need to mash them.
Well, it makes good sense. It put out more of the garlic flavor if you mash it up.
Yeah. You want it to, and because you want it in there when you're doing all that squeezing and twisting on that cabbage, squeezing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. When you
Right?
make your kraut and you eat the kraut out of the jar, what do you do with the juice? I know you can drink it and all, but do you save it to make more, or what do you do with it?
Now this, see, I ate that whole gallon of crab. It took me 3.5 weeks. I ate that whole gallon by
Okay.
myself, and I had all the juice. I left it in the refrigerator, in that gallon crop. So when I started these next 2 batches that I just started, I poured about a half inch in the bottom of each bottle jar, half-gallon jar, about a half an inch. And you ain't gonna believe what I did with the rest of it.
What'd you do with it?
Poured it in a glass and drank it.
Oh yeah, I'll say you could drink it.
Man, that stuff is good.
I
Now
bet it is.
I did take a little of it and put it in a bowl and put some ranch dressing and some horseradish and stirred it up good and sat up here listening to y'all one night or somebody and made a dip out of it. And it was good, but I drank about a half a glass of it. Sure did. I tell you, I feel good, man. I feel better than I felt in a long time.
Yeah, well, that stuff. I've heard the doctors told me when I was in the hospital to eat probiotics because it helped my gut health, and they said that your gut health determines your health for your whole body.
That's what you said the other night.
Yep. If your gut is healthy, then it said it helps your brain function, helps your liver, helps your kidney, every part of your body, your brain, and everything. It makes you sharper and more alert. And they told me that in the hospital. I said, "You serious?" Yeah, I'm exactly serious.
Well, you see, I didn't do all that research.
So that's what when they told me that in the hospital when I was in the hospital trying to, tell me things to help me get myself back together. And that's when I started eating that kabacha and I eat some of that as Jerry Cloud said, that clabbered milk. I eat some of
see, I can't stand that kind of stuff.
yeah.
But
Now
see,
what you call it? You call it, I forgot what you call it. That comes in a little cup and you eat it. It's kind of like yogurt. Yogurt. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what he's talking about.
Well, see, the only reason I got on it, the only reason I started was because number one, the flavor is out of this world. The crunchiness of it, I love it. And I couldn't buy it like David sitting there in Little Rock. And he said he can buy it in Little Rock. Well, see, I can't buy it in Greenville, Mississippi.
What's up, Matt, brother? How you doing?
Hey, Matt. So I said, well, I'm on. I got on, like everything else. I just got on YouTube and wrote in fermenting vegetables.
Right.
Well, and I watched 3 or 4 of them make kraut, garlic kraut, even they called it.
Yeah.
And I watched all of them, and I picked the one that was the easiest to me, and that's the one I went with. There's a man that did it, and I forget his name, but he got hundreds of videos on there. He got like 50, 60,000 people following. And but now that's the way I do kraut. Now the rest of that stuff I don't do that way.
Hey, Gray Wolf.
I've put enough stuff in half-gallon jars that I know how much water you're gonna use.
Right.
So I just guesstimate all that and put the salt in there accordingly.
Right.
Like if I do a half a gallon of cucumbers, all right, I get a quart jar. Yeah, a quart jar. And I weigh my cucumbers. I know how much a quart of water weighs. And then I multiply that times 0.025 and I put the salt in this other quart jar and let it be sitting there dissolving, you see.
Yeah.
And I know that quart jar of water is going to be enough to cover them pickles in that half-gallon jug.
Right.
You see?
Yeah, I want to get into pickles and all too, but right now, the only thing about the pickles though, you got to leave them in the refrigerator all the time. I want to make them where I can can them and put them in a shelf.
You lose the probiotics if you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, that's like CP said that other night in the chat room. He knows all about this stuff. Yeah. He done all the reading on it. See, all I do is look at videos.
Well, I figure if I keep plenty of sauerkraut to eat, I can eat that and just make my regular pickles. But I want to make some of that kabacha too. I'm going to get into making that.
Now, there's plenty of recipes in there for that.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of them today. I bet y'all watched between fermenting things and making a kabacha. I probably watched 6 or 8 videos today. And I just stopped. I want to go back and watch some more, but I just stopped right there.
Yeah.
But there's a pile up in there, man. You can ferment for anything you want to. They even got fermenting beets and everything else.
I did four quarts of beets, and all of them turned out good. I had to steam them to tenderize them where I could eat them. Right. But they turned out good, but I don't like them.
Oh, really?
Mm. They taste like they got dirt in them to me.
Oh, well,
they taste like I would imagine dirt is.
Did you put any sugar in that at all? Just like a quarter cup of sugar or something?
You don't put sugar in them until you get through.
Yeah.
Then you put sugar in them.
Did you put any sugar in them though?
I did one jar that after they fermented, I put sugar in there and shook them back up.
Right.
And put them in the refrigerator. I didn't like them either.
Didn't like them either? Okay.
They ferment fine.
Right.
And the water is really nice and the water tastes good.
Right.
The ferment take. I drank a little of it, and I didn't get any. I mean, they did and I used rocks on all of them too. No
Right.
plastic bag, just a plain good sterilized rock.
Right.
And they all turned out perfect, but I don't like the taste.
I got you.
And that's just me. Now, if
Well,
you
that's
go,
just a process. I mean, you go through and pick out things and try it and pick out the ones you like the best and do them. Ones you don't mess with.
yeah. Well, see, I messed around and went up there and bought too many beets, and I thought I was getting enough for a quart. Ended up, I had 4 quarts.
Oh, mercy. You did get a
So
bunch
I
of
got too many beets.
Ah, I love a beet, man. I can eat the devil of them things. I love 'em. They ain't good for my sugar, though.
Yeah, a gray wolf, I'd sing, but I'm probably gonna wake my wife up, and I'm gonna end up with like downtown Ernie Brown with a skillet on my head. Yeah, gray wolf, you know about eating beet greens. I'm sure if you got Homestead behind your name. Boy, the beet greens, now that's the best greens you can cook is beet greens to me. I love them. I like them better than mustard and turnips. But yeah, I'm going to. Okay, Dave. Well, you see, I'm going to go back to Bologna one of these days and I can stop and buy all of it I want. But I hadn't messed up on the cabbage yet. I got that cabbage turn. It was fantastic, man. Gosh, I wish I had some more. But I got to wait another few days before I can even start.
That old CP that made it in here. What's up, CP?
Yeah, I sent him a text. He was out of power, but he came back on.
He had a rough time with his power. He must have had some bad ice up there.
Yeah, they had pretty bad time up there. Pretty bad time. They lucky they ain't been out for like days and days instead of just hours.
Yeah, he got good power coming. I know the other night in the lab, it went out and 20 minutes later he said, then come back on. They done fixed it,
Well,
but it went back out again.
they staged up there. They have one company that staged in that area.
Oh, okay.
Because he lives out in the country, see.
Yeah.
But there's one lady that got a video on kohlrabi. And see, I raise kohlrabi every fall. The nearest one is about 1.75 miles from my house, David, and they ain't got it. I've looked. Been all over Walmart, been all over Kroger.
What were you looking for?
What were we looking for? Oh, that sauerkraut in the bag.
Oh, already
In
made.
Cleveland,
Okay.
South.
Cleveland. So that's pretty good sauerkraut. The Cleveland's in.
Yes, that brand. That's what got me turned on to that stuff.
Okay. Okay. I've eaten sauerkraut at the store, right? Much of it, but I don't know exactly
No,
what
this is a
brand I was.
bag. This comes in a bag and it'll be in the cool section. It won't be on the shelf.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to
This,
go check that out then. That sounds like it'd be baller.
oh, Ken, this stuff will have you going up there and busting them sauerkraut jars in the floor.
I heard that.
It's that much butter than that sauerkraut in
I
them
know you
jars.
said that in the live overnight, how much butter it was. That's what piqued my interest, man. I'm gonna try it. I just get my mess together here.
But I was watching. See, my stomach stayed messed up a little bit, and I didn't know if it was that COVID medicine or all that fermentation I was eating. Because I was eating a bowl of that kraut, a big bowl of that kraut with pepper on it every day. I
I
couldn't not
heard that.
eat it. I mean, I couldn't even get my mind off of it. It tastes so good. That's all I wanted to do was I could have eaten that whole gallon. And I finally found a video today that there's a lady that's been doing this for years and years and years and years. She's kind of a off grid person, not off grid, but self sustaining. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It'll be in the produce cold department. It'll be in the
I
cold department,
I got
Melissa. It'll be in a bag in the Cleveland, Cleveland, Cleveland brand. But anyway, she was talking about, she put out a video, and it's 3 or 4 years old, but she had put out a video about issues with fermenting. Okay.
you.
And I heard some of them talk about it, but I wanted to see. So I watched the video today. She showed that white skin. I ain't never had it happen, but it's a white film that'll cover the top of the stuff in the
Yeah,
jar.
I've seen about that in one of them movies,
Well,
videos.
all that is yeast.
Yeah, you gotta take a scrape out.
Well, you can, but like she said, I usually just shake the jar up, mix it all back in, and don't worry about it. It's just
Oh,
yeast.
okay.
It's just yeast.
Yeah.
Now, if it's
Yep.
got the bubbles and looks like oh, if it's odd shaped and some of it's got a big dome and one little bubble is like kind of like bubble to a solid bubble. Now that's mold. You take that out of there.
Yeah, that's what they were saying in one of the videos I watched. They took the white stuff and the mold and everything out.
Some
But
people do.
they said it's not fermenting right if you get mold in it, because if you do it like you're supposed to, it ain't supposed to be no mold coming in it. That's
That's
what they
right.
were saying in that video.
And 90% of the mold will be up at the very top,
Right.
where you stuck your dirty hands in there to taste test it or something. You see,
Yeah.
that'll cause it to mold.
Right.
And she had examples of it to look at. That she had some jars that were bad. And I'm sure that everybody that does it is going to eventually get a bad jar. I mean, I hadn't yet, but I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
But she showed what to do, and and showed her, and she spooned the mold out, and she actually spooned all that yeast out, and then took a paper towel, went down in there, and rubbed all inside the jar and got all that out of there. But now that's, I don't know what I'd do if I saw mold. I ain't gonna worry about the yeast, but if I saw mold, I don't know if I could eat it or not. After cleaning
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, if it's at the top, like you said, most of it is going to be, according to what the videos I watched too. You
Yeah.
just get it out, get you a good clean spoon, and dip it out, man.
Now I tell you what, if you, I don't even watch so many. What some people will do is mix up a salt brine in a jar. Set the jar of bad stuff in the sink, and just slowly pour brine in there, and that stuff will float out.
Yeah.
And they just pour it in there and let it float all out till it's clear brine coming out, and then they'll take a spoon and dip some brine out and put the top on it and put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah. All kind of trick there.
Yeah, man. You just watching. There's so many videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna
But
get into it, man.
I don't know, Melissa. Melissa, I'm gonna tell you what this lady said at the very end of her video. She was talking about people that wasn't taking probiotic pills, wasn't eating a lot of yogurt, that would want to get started on fermented probiotic food, and that was me. See, I want to get started on it.
Right.
You're supposed to eat about a tablespoon or two a day, or 4, just a couple of bites a day. And I was eating a quarter of a pound a day, twice a day.
Yeah.
It's just like when I was up at my daughter-in-law's, I ate that bag was 3/4 full. It must have been a half a pound. It started out, I think, a half a pound. And I ate almost all of it, what was left in that sack, at one sitting. And
Did it clean you out, Coach?
huh?
Did it clean you out?
I was almost dehydrated already
Mm, good
from
Lord.
before, from the food poisoning.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to eat a bite or two a day for a couple of weeks until you get it all in your system, and then
Right.
after about a week, you're all right. Well, the way I did it, it takes 14, 18 days for
Okay.
your stomach to get back right. Now my stomach's back right now. I'm fine. You
That's
saw me
good,
sit
man.
up here and drink all that VA juice the other night.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't bother me a bit.
Yeah, man.
Then I drank.
I love that VA juice too. That spicy stuff. That's good.
Yeah, I just had to make myself sit here and not go up there and get a jar of it. Because I buy 2 jars at a time.
Yeah, yes, you can drink it quickly, I can tell you.
But I had to make myself not drink it. Because,
I have made me a red out, poured in a beer, you know.
well, that's the kind of beer I drink. That chilada, that's what that is.
Yeah,
See?
that's pretty good for you. My kidney doctor tells me to drink beer. He said, and I said, can I mix it with that V8 juice or whatever? He said, yeah. He said, it ain't gonna hurt you. He said, but you ought to drink at least one, maybe two a day. Helps your kidneys keep flushing them out. And I was like, what? Oh man.
Hey, Dale.
Hey Dale, hey Slip, but I ain't been doing it. I ain't been drinking that much. I get a carton of beer every once in a while, 6 of them, and drink one. And wait a couple of days, drink another one. But I ain't even drank one in probably a couple of 3 months.
Yeah. But see, you can buy that chilada. It's
Already,
clam. It's
yeah, it's
clamato.
already
Same
made.
same
Yeah,
difference if it's got clam juice in it.
yeah, I like that clam juice, and a lot of times I put clam juice in mine when I make it myself.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, I would probably try some because
what did Melissa ask? She's something about yogurt. I don't know nothing about yogurt.
I'll eat some yogurt, but I don't eat much of it. I just get it at the store. You say yogurt is great for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Melissa, let me tell you something about yogurt. This sauerkraut that we're talking about making is, what is it? I watched the video, science video on it. I think it's 300 times better for you than yogurt.
Yeah, yeah. I seen on one of the videos it said that you use yogurt as a probiotic, and it's not as good as that what you make that fermented stuff at home is a whole lot better. But it says
One,
that one thing closest to the fermented cabbage and stuff that you do at home is that kombucha.
yeah,
Drink the all natural kombucha, not the flavored. The
but
natural, all natural. Got a vinegary
but
taste to it.
that's still fermented, ain't it?
Oh yeah, it's fermented. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all fermented.
Yeah, you buy that in the cooler section too. That's the only way you can get it. They don't let us set it on the shelf.
Yeah, it's just fermented.
Yeah. But it's good, man. I've been drinking some of that. And it has helped me.
Yeah, I ate them out of sauerkraut. I ate all they had.
But the daggone stuff so high in the store for the natural kind that I think I see the movies today, the videos about making it today. I'm gonna try making some of that if I do the cabbage.
Well, the main thing about doing all this is your utensils got to be washed good. Your butcher knife got to be washed good. The wooden spoon you smash it with got to be washed good. The rocks you put on it got to be washed good. I even washed the outside of the Ziploc bags
Right,
before I fill them with water and put them in there. Everything got to be washed. Hot water and soap.
right. You
And I
gotta be
believe
thorough.
I even washed my cutting board before I start using
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
I believe that's the reason I ain't had no problems with none of it so far, because I wash my hands so many times they shrivel up.
Yeah, but what you're saying is you're keeping it sterile so you can't get none of that mold growing in it. That's a good thing.
That's even when after certain many days, you go out there and taste test it. And I got them glass weights that sit down in them big mouth jars with you got and you can't hardly pick them up with your finger. Well, I wash my hands. I get the tongs that I use. I wash them. I get a fork out of the drawer. I wash it.
Right.
Hot water and soap. I set a bowl in the sink and put scalding hot water, hottest water I can stand, and that's what I use to wash all that. And then I rinse them all off. I go out there and I carry a clean paper towel. I lay it over there on the table. I take the top, put the top on that table, reach them tongs in there and get that weight out and hold it on my hand and set it on that paper towel. And then I take my fork and I reach down in there and get cabbage or beets or onions or put cucumbers. And I stand there and taste test them. And when they taste right and I like them, I put the top on them and so I take that vent thing off and I put the cap on them and put them in the refrigerator right there.
That stops the fermenting process.
Cool, yeah, it stops it. That's right.
And you don't need to keep the weight on them either. Then when you do that, you just take it.
No. Once you set it in the refrigerator, it's just a jar of sauerkraut.
The only thing you need to do with it then is eat it, right?
Eat it.
Yeah, man, you done got me thinking hard on. I'm gonna get into this, man.
Yeah, David, don't you wash your hands good and wash the bowl good before you make Jello. Or it'll taste like soap. You know who did that, don't you, Ken?
Yeah, Jodi did.
Jodi. She ate
I think one reason her Jello was so hard, either it was an old one. I don't know how old that Jello was. It could have been old.
She sat right here, I believe it was, and ate a bite of that stuff. And then later on, she said, "Ooh, that stuff wasn't good. It tasted like soap." And we got to quizzing her, and she was up here on panel, and she said, "Well, I was saving on water. I kind of rinsed it out when I the bowl." No, she didn't left soap in there and put Jello.
She washed it, but she didn't rinse it. I think is what she was saying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a lucky boy over there, Melissa. Hey, shit. But yeah, you need to.
I do too, man. I love me some croak, man. Deer steaks too. Yeah, they good.
Well, you know, that's what surprises me. That everybody talks about how much they like kraut. Well, if they eat kraut out of the jar, out of the grocery store, they ain't eating real sauerkraut. That stuff that we gonna make, and that stuff you buy like that Cleveland, that it don't even taste like nothing out of that jar.
I heard that. That's what's got me intrigued about it, because that's the way I always eat mine, is at the grocery store. And I eat right much of it. I ain't got none in the last month or two, but I laid off of it some. I was eating a lot, but I got pickled okra in the refrigerator now. I eat that.
See, you can do okra. I'm gonna do a bunch of okra. I'm gonna do a bunch of cucumbers. I'm gonna do a bunch of green tomatoes.
I was intrigued when you was telling about doing the onions. I bet that'd be good.
Yeah, the only thing about onions, they don't look pretty in the jar after they ferment. Mine did.
Yeah.
They turn blue, but I read that's what some of them do. Some of them will turn blue.
Yeah.
But they good as gold, man. And them Roma tomatoes. Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
I love aroma tomato. That's my favorite tomato, man. And they're cheaper in the store too. When you go in the store to buy them, aroma tomato is cheaper than the rest of the tomato.
Well, see, I use a basil garlic recipe on the aroma tomato.
Man, I bet that was good.
Yeah, but see, that girl that was making them, she was laying that basil to that jar, and I did the same thing, and I got as overwhelmed with basil. Yeah. David, he's on a mission.
On a mission to find that Cleveland.
Well, I tell you what, David, when you find it, I don't know how much money you got, You probably got plenty of money since you got your house rebuilt by FedEx. But once you eat it and then you realize that you can make it just as easy as you can buy it in that bag, you're gonna be watching videos and you're gonna be
Making it
making
yourself.
you're gonna be making it. I guarantee you, Dave.
I look at what Melissa said. When I pickled eggs, I had beets and onions in it. The beets turn the eggs pink.
Sure they do. Now, Melissa, I ought to
I
send you
wonder if
all. If
you could.
you
I
eat
wonder if
beef,
you could ferment that. What she talking about? The eggs and the beets and onions together. What if you could ferment that? I was thinking eggs be nasty.
wait a
Fermented that.
minute. Now, we looked into it. Me and CP. You in here, CP? Can't you ferment eggs? Boiled eggs?
Man, that'd be good if you could. I love me some pickled eggs now, boiled eggs. Man, I love them things.
CP, if he's still in here, we looked at. I believe you can ferment boiled egg.
I want to find out. I might try that recipe. Oh, Lance, I bet it's good. I don't know why to get them though, but I have eaten them
Yeah,
because I
there,
found them
yeah.
on the farm and
Yeah, you can
quail
ferment
eggs.
eggs.
Yeah, quail, huh? Yes,
CP,
he said. Yeah.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure me and him talked about that one night.
Yeah. Yeah, pickled eggs. I'm talking about fermenting them, David. Like we're doing the
Yeah,
sauerkraut. Ferment them.
yeah,
Pickled eggs are good, man. Yeah, I do pickled eggs myself, but I ain't ever done no fermenting, but I'm gonna get into it.
well,
I want,
CCP is first few days. CP finna get into the chicken raising business, selling eggs.
uh
So we're gonna find out firsthand if how fermented eggs are.
he said first few days got to be in the fridge. Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna venture off into doing no eggs, but I guarantee you he will.
You might eventually.
No, I
CP
don't like
makes some.
eggs.
Hey, CP makes some. You taste them, they be so good. You be looking around trying to buy them $100 egg.
I don't I don't care nothing about peeling eggs. I can't stand the smell.
Look, man, ain't no problem to peel an egg. You know how to peel an egg. I found out easy way to do it is get you a quart jar, a pint jar, and fill it about halfway with water.
Uh-huh.
Drop your boiled eggs over in there, put the top back on it, and shake that jar all around.
Nah,
Then you pull it out, all them shells are cracked, they'll just slide right off with no problem. You won't
I
mess an
just
egg up or nothing.
I
Easiest
don't
way
like the
I've seen
smell.
that. I tell you who told me how to do that was Valerie.
Yeah,
That comes in here. She the one told me that, and it works daggone good too. That's the only way I'll ever do a boiled egg anymore.
I don't like the smell of them. I'm strange. Some things like cream cheese.
Melissa says she thinks Tasha ferments eggs. I'll have to ask her about that.
I've been in restaurants eating and get a bite of cream cheese and just had to bend over get my head at the table and spit this stuff out in my hand. I just cannot make it go to my stomach.
Man, I love eggs any kind of way you give them to me.
I'm talking about cream cheese.
Oh, I can eat the devil. I eat that to take a spoon and open up the thing and eat it right out the package.
I can't even watch somebody eat it.
Oh Lord, man, I love that stuff, man. I eat a lot of that. Cream cheese, sour cream, cottage
uh,
cheese,
no sour cream.
uh,
No.
all that kind of stuff. I eat a lot of it, man.
What's that cheese that comes in the what they call that stuff? It comes in a plastic cup. Cottage cheese. Oh God.
Yeah, well, I just say I eat a lot of that too. That cottage cheese. I
Look,
love it. I take a spoon and just eat it right out the jug or the cup.
I know people eat it. My mother used to eat. I just could. Oh God, I can't stand it. Look, now I watched CP several years ago. It was a hot July day. We was in his boat, and it must have been. We talked about this over there in this last chat room we was in tonight. He ate a can of ravioli right out of the can. I couldn't even watch him eat it. And we sitting there, and it was so hot. I mean, the humidity must have been 100%. It was strangling hot. And he ate that that can of ravioli, and I couldn't watch him. And then he said, I'm still hungry. He said, there's got to be something else in this boat to eat. And we was in his boat. He got to scrambling around and scratching and looking, and he come out with a can of sardines. Now, I'm not lying to you, Kenny. It wasn't even no writing left on the can. It had been in that boat so long.
Great, eh?
It was just a can of sardines with the key. You pull it, the pop top. And it's hot. And he ain't got no fork now. He's eating his crap with his fingers. And he been cutting skipjacks all day. He opened that can of sardines and reached them big old clodhopper hands down in there and got him a handful of it and took it, put it in his mouth and sucked that can over here to me. And he said, have some. And damn grease started running off, dripping off his mouth and off his. Man, I like to gag on the side of that. How can you eat? Man, oh Lord, it looked just like rotten skipjack laying up in that can.
I heard that.
He sure did it now. He's in here. He can't deny it. Yeah, look, see? Hell, man, I was hungry. Look, and he'll come down in metal detecting now. Listen to this. Now, I don't know how bad or good this is. But when he comes down here and or whatever, fishing or whatever early in the morning, he always brings a sack full of breakfast sandwiches. He done stopped somewhere and bought sausage and biscuits or bacon and with egg on it and all that. He always brings me something. And right. I said some now. He don't bring me one. He bring me some. And he got a sack full. So I always eat one. That's about all I can eat. And we'll put that stuff in the back seat of the truck. And it'll either be dark. He'll say, I'm hungry. And he'll get that sack and eat that damn stuff that's been in the back seat of the truck for 4 or 5 hours.
I do it too.
Huh?
I do that too.
No, I can't handle that. I
can turn it up. CP, I seen what you told me about making them eggs peel easier. I got that, but I seen that comment. I'm gonna try that. I seen you too, Matt. So you bought 36 eggs for $11 or something. 38, 30 something. I seen it, but yeah, man. You get hungry, you try about anything. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, McDonald's don't spoil because there ain't no meat in there.
That's that old plant-based stuff. Most of it.
Well, I'm telling you, boy. I can't handle that, boy. I just can't handle it. I can't even watch it.
You see what Matt said? He said he have to hang his, over the side of the boat with that one.
Yeah. Man, this can of sardines was up under the floorboard of his boat. I don't know how he ever found it. Didn't have no writing on the can.
It was sliding around in that little while. It don't take real long to move around much to get the paint off of it, though.
I guess not, but they've been in there quite a while now, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they've been there a while to get like that. Ain't no dirty bird, ain't no more shiny can.
Yeah, boy.
David Smith.
Like a slip and slide. I tell you, he must have a cast iron stomach.
Mm.
But the worst part of all that, he was eating it with his fingers, and he didn't wash his hands. He just reached in there and got that ravioli, eating that cold old sticky stuff. Man, that was good. Yeehaw. Hey, Stan.
Yeah, that's good eating, ain't it, CP? Hey, Susquehanna.
10-year shelf life, but I don't know about sitting out in that hot sun in that boat. I bet that can had been swollen and gone back down so many times. Man. Well, I run the pickup one time with paraquat.
I
Y'all
couldn't
all know
hang
what
with I couldn't hang with Lance on that. He said he drank hot beer and he sardine. Couldn't do that, brother.
I don't. I can't. I can drink. I can drink a room temperature Budweiser, but I can't.
I like mine cold, man.
Yeah, I have too. But I had a fork, man, or at least a napkin to put around the sandwich.
Yeah. That's most time what I do. I make sandwiches here at home and put them in a Ziploc bag, but I wrap them in a paper towel. So when you reach in the bag, you grab your paper towel with the sandwich
Right.
in it, pull it out, and then you just unfold the paper towel, eat it, and leave your fingers on the paper towel. So that way that fishy stuff won't get on your sandwich.
Yeah, that's bad news, behind stand.
Oh, is that? All
Let me tell this story, Kenny.
right.
I got a buddy down in West Monroe, Louisiana, and then when I used to fish out catfish out the boat all the time. His name is Sam. He's a friend of mine in CP. But we got Sam started catfishing out there in the river. He's a crappie fisherman. But anyway, he had a fish camp down there on Lake St. Joe in eastern Louisiana. It's several big lakes right there, and he got to have a fish camp down there. So he invited me down, and his camp is made out of grain bins, the little small grain bins.
Yeah.
And he had two together, and then he had a house built on the back of it with a couch, a TV, a sunroom like place, and a washing machine and dryer in the bathroom. He had all that built on it. Nice place.
Yeah, man. Sounds nice.
One of the grain bins was the kitchen with a table and chairs and the stove and all the sink, and the other one was his bedroom. And I slept on a big couch out there. Well, right next door to him, about 200 feet, was a house that the boy lived in. And I can't remember what his name was. Doggone, he's a nice guy. But anyway, it's right on the bank of the, what's the name of the river? Tenfall? I think
I'm not sure.
Tenfall, Tenfa. I think it's the Kennesaw River. The Kennesaw River.
Okay.
And so me and Sam went to the Mississippi River and we fished and came back, and that boy walked over and said, and it was during dove season in Louisiana, and that boy said, Sam, you and your friend, y'all come on over tonight. I'm going to cook doves. I killed a bunch of doves there, and I'm going to cook doves over here tonight and fix a salad and all. We said, well, can we come over and help you? And he said, well, yeah, if y'all want to. So we cleaned up, washed up, got up beer and stuff, and went over to his house. He had a nice screened-in porch with 2 or 3 ceiling fans. You know, it was a nice place. And we was in there helping him make the salad and cutting up potatoes and this and that and the other. And this fella pulls up out there, and Sam said, there's Joe. Well, this is a friend of theirs. And Joe been dove hunting. So Joe comes out, and he comes up in the porch, and he's drunk as 700 skunks, man, eating rotten corn. He couldn't even make a sentence. He's so drunk.
Oh.
And he said, when the dove's going to be ready? And I'm going to call this other boy Mike, because I can't remember his name. Mike said, oh, it's going to be an hour. So he said, well, I think I'm going to clean my birds out here by the water hydrant. And Mike said, well, go ahead, Joe. He stumbled and fell out the door, down the steps, and come back around the house over in a few minutes with his hunting pouch. And I don't know, he had 20 doves, 15 doves. I don't know how many he had. And he cut the outside light on. He was out there pulling them breasts out of them doves, cleaning them up. And he didn't have no sack or nothing now. He just throwing them over on the ground. As he cleaned them, he just throwing the breast over on the ground, throwing the feathers and wings over yonder. Made a hell of a mess out there. So then he got the dove laying out there, the breast laying on the ground, and he's stumbling around out there and he couldn't figure out what to do. We was watching it through the screen, you know. So he washes them doves off, washes them off, and puts them in that bag and wraps them up in that bag that he brought them out there in. He didn't put them in the sack. He put them outside and wrapped them up. And he went and carried them, and I guess he put them in the cooler. I don't know whether he put them in the cooler or not. So he stumbles his drunk self, comes back with a tall Budweiser, and he gathers up all them tail, them wings and everything. And he got set his beard down. He got a double big handful of them wings, all that leftover stuff. And he walked down the bank to the Tensaw River. Tensaw. Yeah, Tensaw. He walked down there and just threw them toward the water. He didn't none of them get in the water. And he come on back up there and got his beer and come back in. He had blood and feathers and crap all over his hands. Uh-oh. Y'all got to hear this now. He had feathers and blood, and when he come back in, he stopped. When he come back in, he stopped by his truck and got 2 more tall Budweisers. He come in there and sat on the couch, set them 2 cans, and he already had one just open, and set 1 can down there on the floor, 2 cans down there on the floor, and he's drinking the third one. And getting drunk about a second. Well, Mike had a big fryer and he had a grill going with the doves on it, and the doves and everything started coming off, and the fry and the potatoes and the salad and everything. And so Mike set the table, big wooden table, big round wooden table, about twice big as a spool, wire spool, them things, about twice that big. So I walked over there and sat down, and we got the plate and sat down, and Sam and Mike and drunk Joe gets up, and he comes and he fell from the couch all the way to the table. Got up off the floor and sat down, and he got feathers and blood and stuff stuck all over his hand. And he reached over there. He reached over there to get him a handful of them French fries. And Mike come across the back of that hand with his spoon. I don't know where, a big spoon. I reckon for the salad, to mix it, put the salad. He hit him across the back of the hand. He said, "Boy, you get them damn bloody hands out of them potatoes." And he pulled that hand back. So he reached with the other hand, and Mike knocked that one out. He said, "I told you, man, don't put them bloody hands in the potatoes." And I had to move my chair down around that table and get away from him. I was sitting right there by him. And he said, so Mike handed him, got the spoon and put some potatoes on the boy's plate and got him 3 or 4 doves and put it on his plate and got it. He served him. And that boy sat there without a fork, without a knife, without a spoon. And he sat right there and ate his meal with his hands, with the blood and feathers all over. And Mike said, from now on, boy, you known as Drunk Joe. You Drunk Joe from now on. And Sam was about to throw up too. I was too. And he said he ate. It wasn't none of this phasing him, what nobody was saying, because he didn't even know where he was. He said, I'm going home now. And he done drank them other 3 tall beers, and he was already drunk. And Mike said, no, get over there on the couch. You sleep in tonight. He said, man, ain't nothing. He didn't live about 4 miles down the road. And I'm going to go home. Mama be where he lived with his mother. And this boy was my age. He was old. I mean, he was in his 40s. He got in that truck. We tried to get the keys. And we did get the keys. But he had an extra set of keys on a magnet. And he knew where his extra set of keys was. Apparently this didn't happen to him before. It was in the gas cap. You know how you do? He got the key. And we thought we thought we had him. And Mike had his keys in the house, and we heard that truck crank up. We turned and looked, and he run, and it was muddy. He turned that truck around and went straight across the road. There wasn't no ditches or nothing there, but just small little. And right out in that field till that truck wouldn't move again. Buried it up out there in a cornfield.
Good Lord.
And it had been harvested and had been disc one time. And
I was it didn't take him long to get stuck in that, did it?
That's where he slept. We kept saying, well, he'll be on back over in a minute. And Mike kept saying, well, we're going to hose him down before he comes in this house because he's going to be muddy. He never showed up. He slept out there in that field. That's where he slept. I think he was passed out when he turned around. Oh, man. The next day, Mike pulled him out, but he had to go borrow some rope and some chain. I had a pull rope in my truck, and I threw it out at the cabin. So me and Sam went back to the river the next morning. And old drunk Joe was still out there in the truck that next morning. He just slept.
I bet he felt good when he did wake up.
Oh, you know he was. Oh, God. Ain't nothing worse than beer drunk.
Got that right.
All right, I'm going to shut up. Somebody else needs to come up here and help us talk. Got to be somebody else to come up here.
I'm surprised old Hog ain't just slipped up in here.
I thought maybe I could influence Melissa to come up in here, but I don't believe I will be able to.
Yeah, Melissa, you come up here and leave your icon up, girl. Talk with us a while. Don't be so shy. You can stay behind your icon if you want to, just like I'm doing, because I'm still later in the bed. My back doing a whole lot better though than it was.
Well, that's great. That's great. And you go back next Friday. You go back next Friday, huh?
Yep. They're gonna do it once a week for 4 weeks and see how it goes.
Well, I go on the 20th to get my diagnosis on my back.
Yeah.
Down in Jackson, and I know they're going. I don't know what they're gonna do, Coach. I don't have no idea. That's Lance, my cool guy. No smoking on here now. This is a kid-friendly show, Lance.
How you guys doing?
What's up, Lance? How you doing, man?
Not much, man. I'm doing all right.
How's Audrey doing?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, how Audrey was doing.
She's doing all right. Seems like it anyway.
Well, that's good. You tell her we're asking about her and we're praying for her, brother.
Oh, yeah. I let her know.
Yeah, CP, I used to soak that old Mad Dog back in the day, that old Mad Dog 2020. That was my wine when it first come out, man. That stuff will mess you up.
You know, I know y'all ain't going to believe this, but I ain't never tasted Mad Dog 2020.
That's some good wine, but I'm going to tell you one of them. You don't want to double it. It'll set you right down and make you take note of everything for a little bit anyway.
Mac, you don't miss nothing, do you, boy? You hear what I said, Lance, when you come up?
Huh?
You didn't hear what I said when you came up?
No.
I said, you had that cigarette going. I said, no smoking in here. This is a kid-friendly show.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't think anybody caught it, but Matt did.
Kid friendly, yeah.
Yeah, I was grinning. I was grinning. I was thanking the coach, but I didn't say it. I said, "Man, where are you coming from?"
Don't make me no difference as long as the language don't get too bad.
Yeah, that's the way it is with me, man.
I can stand because I got a foul mouth myself. I can cuss all the time. I hate it, but I try to break it. But
yeah, same
it's a tough habit. It's a tough habit to break, man. I used to cuss worse than a sailor, but I try not to cuss too much. I say a little of some of the light words, but them hardcore ones, I don't say them much no more.
Oh, Eric, that boy that I fish with, you know, the young boy I fish with.
Yeah.
When we first met last year, we met through a mutual friend at fishing, but he ain't never been with us. But I told him, I said, I got a YouTube channel. I go live all the time out here fishing. He said, what does that mean? I said, well, you watch YouTube videos. Oh yeah, all the time. I said, well, we're gonna be live on the air. We're gonna be broadcasting. This ain't gonna be no video. He said, oh, okay. I said, the only thing I ask you watch your language.
Yeah.
And because you don't want no bad cussing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you'd have thought, man, listen, the first 2 or 3 times we was out there, you'd have thought he was a preacher, man. He was watching it. He says, is that right? You got the video, you got the audio on? I said, yeah. And when the audio was off, boy, he's back to natural. And he told me one night, he said, I believe this stuff helping me quit cussing. Yeah, you got to watch yourself.
Thank you, Lisa, for dropping the link. Yeah, let's go. Come up here with us, girl.
Yeah, David. I don't have no good habits. Don't seem like.
Oh, you got some, bud.
No, I'm not scratching my head. This thing gets down through that hair.
Yeah, you like that thing, don't you, man?
Oh, man, I like it.
Cat likes it, too.
He usually watches this thing.
Yeah, he keeps an eye on that thing. He likes that thing.
But he's over here. I don't know whether he's pouting or what he's doing.
If he's pouting, you better leave him alone because he'll smack you.
Well, this thing long enough for me to get out of the way.
You're going to be unpopular.
That one feels good.
You see the hair. Huh?
How you been doing?
Who, me? I'm doing a little bit better, but yeah, the chiropractor helped me some. If I stand up and walk around for about 30 minutes or so, it start hurting some. And I ain't tried sitting in my chair, and I'm gonna try that tomorrow. See how I can sit in my chair. If I do all right with that, I'll go ahead and put it in my thumbnails for the show. But I'm gonna see how I sit in that chair. If I can't sit in that chair, then I ain't gonna. I'd have to get hog leg to do it again. I come up with it like I am now because I stretch it in the bed. I'm all right,
Yeah.
But it's getting better. But the chiropractor told me
good stuff. Shine and Country Time Lemonade, especially Mississippi Shine.
That's some good stuff there now. It'll put you to bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I used to drive from Texas all the way to Mississippi just for Shine.
Yeah. I tell you, up there where CP lives, there's some good stuff floating around up there.
I heard that. Hey, Melissa, I'm going to try to tune in at that 10 o'clock tonight. The Three Amigos going to ride again. Is that going to be there?
Watching that the other night, that was a trip.
Is that going to be on Troy's channel? Real and Virtual's channel? I'm sure it will be.
Y'all see Troy today running the cop car?
No, it was work when he did that.
Well, he wrecked the cop car, taking a victim in with her hands behind her back, handcuffed, and he wrecked the car. Didn't wreck it real bad, but he wrecked it. So he carried in there and got a book and come back out of the police station. This video, that game he played. And so he picked him out another car, and damn, he didn't wreck it going out the parking lot. Hit a post over there and missed the street and hit a post going out onto the street and wrecked that one.
Wow.
In the parking lot of the police station.
Yeah, let's have come check it out.
Yeah. Oh, that boy, no, he can't drive.
I'm sure it'll pop up. He says he's fixing. He said he's fixing a thumbnail for it now. It'll come up. I can click on get in that way. Or either I'll come back and get that link or this chat.
Okay, they gonna convoy tonight, huh?
Yeah, 10 o'clock tonight. Yeah.
Look, Melissa, when he driving that police car, you know he done wore the front tires out on that thing in about an hour. He done twisted them. Them front tires are steady doing this going down the street. And you know he done wore the tires out. But that truck driving tomorrow night when Susquehanna stand, it's a good thing you can't get killed on them video games.
Yeah.
He knocked a bus plumb off a bus up in the air last week.
Nope.
And he hit Hogleg in the rear end and knocked Hogleg plumb over a 4-lane, a concrete barrier over the other 2 lanes of the interstate and over the guardrail on the other side of that and pointed
He was playing suicide, what he was doing.
Pointing the direction you come from. Yeah, when Troy wrecks that police car, they smoking and old crank. Man. Oh.
Yeah, listen, I see where you posted the link earlier. I say I can come back in here and get the link, or either I'm sure it'll come up on the YouTube feed. You're going to put a thumbnail out, too.
Well,
but I get in that one way or the other, try to watch it tonight.
I'm back in the good graces of StreamYard now.
All right, now.
My hours re-upped at 12 o'clock. When I started this live, I had 13 minutes left of free time. And they won't cut you off.
No, they won't cut you off.
So now I'm re-up to 20 more free hours.
All right.
I gotta pay my my StreamYard bill. It's only $10 though, my plan.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got it. It just comes in my account automatic every month.
Well, I may do it when it's fishing time, but when I go back to the riverbank, but I don't know with this back deal. I don't know what's going to happen there. Of course, don't even know when they're going to do it and don't know what they're going to do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the recovery time is. Look here, man, I got a friend. Wednesday, he had a hip replacement down in Jackson. Same place I'm going to have my back checked. He had hip replacement. And you know they do that as an outpatient?
Really?
And I tried to, his wife is a principal, a headmaster out of the school that my wife teaches. She's my wife's boss. Well, I had hernia surgery down there right after my cancer surgery. And they actually cut me open, cut me a little bit to put that, whatever they put in there to fix it. And anyway, they did that as an outpatient.
Wow.
And I was laying there in the bed. Kay was there. And that nurse came in and said, Mr. Adams, it's time to get up. I said, get up. Kay said, I had the damnest look on my face. And like, hell no, I ain't getting up now. I can't get up. That woman got me up out of that bed and walked me around and, oh, golly. And I had to pass gas before they let me go home, before they made me go home. And I'm walking down that damn hall, just sound like John Parker with that gown flying in the back.
Oh, Lord.
And so after about 10 pops there, she turned me around and headed me back down the hall. She's pushing the little thing and I'm holding on to her. Got that IV in my arm, you know how to do.
Yeah.
And I got back in the room. We got on back in the room. And she says, well, I'm going to call you a wheelchair. Ms. Adams, you go get the car. And I says, you going to send me home? I couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy now, man. They send you there to get somebody else in like a stockyard now.
Oh, and then she said, well, you still got some pills because I was in the same room I was in when I had my colon, I had my other operation down there. And she said, "You got some of them pills left, don't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, but they at home." I said, and Kay like to kill me coming down here.
Mm.
And she said, "Well, we'll get you ready to ride." Well, that pill lasted about 50 miles. And boy, you talking about hurting.
Ah,
They did that as outpatient. So I knew when Kay came home and said that they were going to work on Chip and they were going to do it as an outpatient, put him a new hip in. I
that's
said, "You
crazy.
better tell that boy to find him a motel room or something close." I said, "She ain't been back to work yet. That boy's in all kinds of pain."
Lord have mercy.
And that was Wednesday. Today's Friday. He like, now, according to what she told Kay on the telephone, he like thought he was going to die yesterday.
Mm.
And
Lord have mercy.
but the third day is the worst day. Tomorrow's going to be his worst day.
Yeah, that's crazy though, man. I can't believe they let him cool home like that. They should have kept him for a couple of days anyway.
They had him, he was home Wednesday night.
But I'm
Was
gonna tell
he?
you, a whole lot of that's got to do with insurance. Insurance
Yeah.
making doctors make you leave. They tell you we ain't gonna pay for it. He's got to go.
Well, look here. This has been 20 years ago. My uncle down there lives in Jackson. He had triple bypass surgery. So I was there when he, came out of recovery with the rest of my cousins and my aunt and all. And they had more teeth sticking out of that man than I can imagine.
Huh.
Uh, I couldn't imagine that they doing that much stuff to him. And he was unconscious. And so we was all sitting outside the room out there in the lobby or the waiting room kind of thing. And we were sitting there talking, and a couple of hours passed, and one of us would go check on him, and then he was conscious and he could talk to you, and he was groggy. You know how you are after being asleep,
Yeah.
but he came around pretty quick. And we went and got us something to eat. Came back and we were sitting there, and we all went in and checked on him, and he was talking and clearing up more and more and more. And so we was all sitting back out there in the lobby, and we looked up and he come walking down the hall with the nurse pushing all them. And this was like, I'm gonna say 5 hours after triple bypass surgery.
Mm.
They had him
Wow.
walking down the hall. I thought to myself, I said, "What kind of damn hospital is this?"
It's crazy, man. That's the way they getting though, man. They trying to
Yeah.
shuffle more people through, make more money, man. Plus, like I said, the insurance said, well, he can stay this long, he's got to go. We ain't gonna pay no longer of it, and that's you going too. If the
Uh,
hospital ain't gonna get that insurance money, then you going home.
yeah, but no, I mean, he stayed in the hospital, but they
Yeah,
had him up. They had him up walking.
yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah. That's what he done. My dad, he had a partial knee replacement in both knees at the same time. And
Ooh,
as soon as he got out of his drunkenness and where he knew what was going on, they got him up at the bed and walked him up and down the hall. He
man,
come back. I said, "Pop, how did that pain feel?" He said, "Oh, I got a little pain." But he said, "I'm gonna tell you one something." He said, "Ain't half the pain I had when I walked in here was bone on bone." He said,
yeah,
"If I know it won't no worse than this, I've done it a long time ago."
but he was on all them drugs then still though.
Yeah, but I mean, he come home man, a month or two. He's walking around without a cane or nothing. He was doing all right, man. He healed up pretty good off of it.
But I
But when he
can't.
went in there, he looked like an old cowboy, man. He couldn't walk. His bone was was bone to bone on it. Let's see, what was it? The inside.
Yeah,
Because it made his legs bow out. The inside of his knees were worried on both, so they just did a partial. They put some kind of titanium stuff in his knee.
right, right.
He's the only one I ever heard of doing both knees at the same time, though. He said, "Yeah, well, let's go and do both of them, get it over with." He said, "I don't want to
Get
come
it,
back and do this no more."
get it over with at one time.
Yeah, but I was surprised at how fast he snapped back from it. But he told me, he said, "Man, when they first took me up to the bed to walk, he said it hurt, but he said, it wasn't nothing like I was hurting when I come in here."
Well, I don't care nothing about all that surgery. It don't bother me. if you got to do it, you got to do it. But
Yeah, that's what.
after I had that cancer surgery, they had me up walking down at home. I don't remember I don't remember because I kept them pain pills in me.
Yeah, I
But
had two surgeries with this old foot, and one of them was put another vein in my leg. That was a 6.5 hour surgery. I don't remember now. They knocked me out for that, but when they done the catheterization on my legs, I was watching them on the screen do that, run a little wire down in my veins and knock your blockages loose.
yeah,
I was sitting there watching on the TV screen on that, watching them do it.
how do they keep it from going back through you a bit like a blood clot?
That's what I don't understand. What would keep it from going to your heart? I
They
don't
must
know
have
what.
had it. They must have had it blocked off some sort of way.
I didn't see no wild way they had it blocked. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about. I don't
He
want to
had a
know.
little wire run down in your vein, and when he hit a blockage, he'd take that thing and smack it. He'd smack that wire 4 or 5 times, and then pop it loose, and then he'd go on down to the next one. But he got on one vein, he couldn't block it. He couldn't do nothing with that. He said, "Man, that's blocked up so tight, I can't get that loose." And that's the one they took out my leg and put another vein in. That's why I
Yeah.
had to have that surgery. And
CP and I got a friend. He's gone now, but he had all that done several times. He's the one that's from up there in Kansas. He ended up. I don't know. He had that. He ended up cancer got him. He wouldn't, and he wouldn't, and he wouldn't get treated for it. And he said, "No, quality of life ain't no good. I'll see y'all later." Sure
I got a good friend. His wife had a brain tumor, and they got the tumor out and give her the treatments, and it was all gone. And she went and had another scan done yesterday, a day before yesterday. Says it's back, and then come back, and she got to do more treatment. So I feel for them. I think the world of both of them. They're lifelong friends, and I hate to see that happen.
Well, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, that'll get you down, brother. I'm gonna tell you what.
I don't like talking about all that.
I've been had her on my mind the last couple of days, man. It's rough,
Well,
man.
Lance, how come you ain't bourbon fishing, Lance?
Two words for him.
Huh? No, last weekend it wasn't that great. I might go tomorrow. I might not. I'm gonna check the river out tomorrow, probably.
Well, it
See
ain't
what's going
it
on.
ain't frozen, is it?
That's what I gotta check, man. It's been cold as heck up here.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I know it's been cold. That's why I say the reason you didn't go because it's too warm for you.
well, if you caught
Nah,
a fish,
it's
have
been
you caught
windy.
have you caught a bourbon since you was on my live? Caught him two that night.
Yeah,
You have?
yeah. I caught
Well,
one or two more after that.
I've heard you mention it several times. I wish Steve Adams would go live
Yeah,
when he's out there.
I caught like one or two,
Okay.
but yeah, bourbon fishing died in this area. If I don't go this weekend, next weekend I'll drive down. It's about to Port Washington. It's about 30-40 minute drive. I'm just ready for spring, man. Today alone, when I woke
you're in the
up
wrong place to be ready for spring already.
Yeah.
You
When this morning it was with the wind chill, it was negative 22.
oh Lord.
Good Lord, have mercy. That'll keep me in the house. I'll tell you that.
And bourbon be all right for me too, because I wouldn't be out there looking for him.
Yeah, I let him swim. He ain't got to worry about me catching him.
He going to
I've
come
been
up in the
told,
house.
brother. Good Lord.
The only way I catch him, he come up in the commode.
Yeah, David Smith sure did. Cut the hair short. I'm gonna grow the beard out though.
I think in a few more weeks I might trim up a little bit. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I most times shave my little mess off in the spring of the year, grow it back in the fall. I don't know what I might keep it this year. I think I kept it last year. I didn't cut it off last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow out. I'm gonna grow my beard out. I'm done shaving.
Yeah, it gets old on it.
Yeah,
My skin's so sensitive too, man. When I shave every day or two, if you're gonna keep it cut down, you got to shave every day or two.
yeah.
And man, my skin's so sensitive, it start breaking there, get the itching and stuff, burning.
Matt,
Now I put all kinds of. Went to Walmart, talked to a guy. He's got a YouTube channel. He does. Uh, He's got a nice beard, man, freaking long. His name is Dan C. Bearded. I've been talking to him and stuff. He told me what product to go get at Walmart, and so I figure out what I want to get on online. Stuff working pretty good, man. Beard a lot softer.
It makes it soft? Does it make it thicken up?
hey, Robin C.
Yeah, supposedly it does. But I noticed this made it softer and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Matt, deer season still open in Arkansas? I thought deer season was closed, even here. I don't know. CP, deer season still open in Mississippi? Or you duck hunting in the blind? Yeah, February 28th. I didn't know that.
I think
Hey,
duck
Robin,
season is very over with now, ain't it?
Yeah, deer season closed in Mississippi. I thought Mississippi had had a lot more season shooting days in Arkansas. I didn't know that.
Yeah, our hunting season is gone too. Hey, Robin C., how you doing, girl?
Oh, bow and arrow? Okay, I got you.
nah, man. I'm gonna start bringing in my rods, cleaning up doing maintenance on my reels and stuff. I got one reel I got to send out next week.
Who you get to work on your reels?
Well, I do my own on my other reels, but my Ancient Mariners, one of my Ancient Mariners started acting up, the newest one I had, and I talked to the guy at Ancient Mariner. All you gotta do is send it in, he'll fix it, because it's got that lifetime warranty on it.
Right.
But other than that, my other reels, I do all my own.
Yeah, I think I got three I want to work on that needs
Huh?
to be redone. I got three that needs to be redone and put drags and stuff. I got one slime cat the drag won't slap out of. I hang a big fish on. I don't know what I'd do with him. I'd be there pump and grind until I can get him in, I guess. I hope I can get him in.
Kenneth, I
Hey,
tell you somebody really works.
Get with
Do what?
Tommy.
Kenneth,
Yeah,
I
well,
tell
I
you,
said something to Thomas one time, but he said he was just starting out with it, that he wasn't real good with it yet. So,
oh, okay. I know
and
that.
I figured this maybe he didn't want to mess with it. But I mean, hey, 252 and Eric Pope, but I'm gonna ask him again
Yeah.
and see, because he don't work on some reels now. What's up, Van, my brother? Yeah, I'm thinking about just tearing into it myself, brother. I figure I can tear it all to pieces. If I can't get it back together, I just use it for fishing weights.
There you go.
That's
I,
what,
What's up, man?
that's the way we look at it, brother.
I've reworked a bunch of them PN 309s that I got, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
do it.
I got three of them, but only time I use them is in the boat for dropping off a side suspended.
Yeah, I don't use them no more, and I ain't gonna tear one of them down no more. I'm too nervous and shaky.
Well, my problem is my neuropathy. Anything, them little small screws and washers and stuff.
Yeah,
Man, I catch a devil trying to do it because I can't feel nothing with my fingers. But I used to, it didn't make no difference back when I was young and I didn't have this crap. I tear into it. I can tear something up now. Whether I get it back together, I don't know. And the motto with me is if you got extra parts left over when you put it together, you've done a good job.
Yeah, you use them on the next one.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta get some beard oil, some dang real oil and stuff.
Yeah,
Actually, the grease. I gotta get grease. I got oil. I just ain't got the grease. I'm
yeah,
all man. I gotta clean about a dozen reels. So
yeah. Take you a little while. One. You got to
yeah,
re-spool them too while you clean when you clean them.
nah. These I'll probably re-spool a couple. Like I got my Abu Garcia 5500. I'm gonna re-spool that probably tomorrow. I'm gonna put on some of this red reaction tackle braid. It's a no bleed braid. Good stuff, man. I like the reaction tackle stuff. Their braid
that's
is good.
that's Van right there. He does it. Kenneth.
Yeah, I got three Abu Garcias I want to rework and put one of them, the handle's kind of floppy. I don't know what you got to put in there to fix it, but the handle flops around. And I got one slime cat that needs dregs put in it. I don't know about the rest of it, but I got four altogether. I want to do some work to and get them fixed up. And they are vintage Abu Garcias.
Yeah.
I want to get them fixed up. And I
Yeah,
want to
just
eventually put them on. I want to eventually put them on a reel and use them.
like that one that pen reel, that Long Beach 60 that Steve Loke sent me. He cleaned it up, but I ended up cleaning it up a lot more. Thing looks brand new now. It's on my 10-foot pen rod. I'm gonna use that when I hit the Mississippi this year.
Yeah. Thank you, Listen. I could use about 3 cups of that. I wish I could get a hold to it.
Well, there's some bait shop or whatever it is over there on the coast of South Carolina. And I don't know the boy's name. I never talked to him, but I bought through the years off of eBay. He puts reels on eBay, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
hear
think I
you,
bought
Van.
I think I bought 5 309s off of him. And
Van,
you
where
know,
you order you? I'm sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to cut you off. Van said that he did hard to figure. I was wondering where he got his parts from for them Abu Garcia. Just go on the website and order them or what? But because I
yeah,
don't have no
imagine you get them off
schematic.
Amazon.
Yeah, I have to check that out. I'm sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But
But
anyway, I guess I bought 5 real 309s off of him through the years, and every one of them come here, and I swear they look brand new. I guess he reworks them in the shop there.
Yeah.
And I always watch for him. In fact, when I did a search for him, I'd always search his store, his place. And if he had one and I was looking for one, heck, I'd buy it from him. I don't think I ever paid over about $39 for one.
I heard
Plus,
you. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I paid for my I paid $35 for my 5500 Abu off
you
of
got that
eBay.
off eBay?
Yeah. And
Well,
it's the one that's made in Sweden.
yeah.
It's a good Abu.
Well, if I knew anything about reels, I ain't thought about that. I ain't thought about that guy. Instead of buying the new pistol funds that I've been buying, heck, I ought to go check him out. I can't remember his name no more. And see what he sells. But I don't know nothing about any of. I don't know anything about them other reels. I don't know nothing. Because the only thing I've ever used is pins. And then when I got to doing this bank fishing, I bought them pistol funds. Yeah, and if they tear up, I guess just throw them away and get another. But I don't use all them poles anyway. Too much like work.
I most time 3 or 4 poles is what I use. But I like to have some extras in case something happens to some of them. Till I
Yeah.
can get it fixed, I'll have something to fall back on.
Well, I tell you about me, Ken. I don't care about carrying them up and down the bank.
Yeah, it ain't easy to do that either, is it, Coach?
Not the way I have to go.
That bank fishing is rough, man.
Yep.
I found that out this year when I had to do nothing but bank fish because my boat's down. Man, I'll tell you what, I learned a whole lot.
I don't know, Melissa. He told me to send him them 309s. He rework them, but that's what he told me. But that was last year sometime. I never did do it because I realized that I had to have something besides 309s fishing from the bank.
I got you, Van. Yeah, 309s don't cast too far.
No, you know, and they don't.
That's why I just
They,
use them for. I call it deer sticking offside the boat, just to spin them offside the boat. Is what I
well,
do with mine, man.
I tell you what, now boat fishing out there in the Mississippi River, anchor fishing. You know, anchor.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I just don't believe you can beat them.
Yeah, I like them for that now. And they'll stout reel. They'll take whatever you hang. I can tell you that.
They sure will.
There's some tough reels, man. And I got mine. I bought mine Bass Pro Shop as a combo. Already got all pin rod on it too. And the only thing about the pin rod is good and stiff. It's a good hard rod. It'll bring something in, but it's a little bit short. Oh, it's just a little bit longer, but they good. That's a good outfit.
I don't know.
I'll be glad to get back to doing it.
I just hope the fish biting this year. We didn't catch nothing last year, mountain nothing.
All right, Van. I got you, buddy.
It's fine with me, Robin C. Man, I don't care. I don't even know. I don't know why anybody would object to it. Oh, Coach Hogleg, you can send him them 309. He can use them. He said, no, I didn't quit fooling with Hogleg. I tried to give him a camper, and I could never get no deal out of him. So I ain't giving Hogleg nothing no more. I might give it to you. I might give it to you, Melissa.
You got down where all they had to do is come get it, didn't it, Cody?
Basically, I couldn't even get him to do that. And then I told him I meet him halfway. Couldn't get him to do that.
Heck,
Now,
man, this year you might see me fishing off the pontoon.
That El Bugar field where Serena was giving away, you got to go in their community page and watch some of their videos. They'll tell you which ones you need to watch and make comments on. There's different things you got to do to qualify to be in that drawing for that reel too. Now, y'all keep that in mind. So if you want interested in it, you go to Serena's community page or her about page, and it'll tell you probably Jarrell's too, because I think he's in on that too with her. And you check out that channel, it'll tell you things that you got to do to be qualified for that reel. You just can't plop in there. Number one, you got to be subscribed to both of them, and then they got list certain videos each week or two. They change the video. You have to go watch their videos and make a comment on it to qualify. But that's a rocket, and it's been redone. It's got a heavy duty drags in it and gears too. I mean, it's set up for big fish. So.
Yeah, look at him. CP said he tried to give Hogleg a metal detector. You can't. I ain't giving him nothing. No, Robin C., you ain't a mod, and if I remember, I'll put you in there as one. Don't ever think about all that. I'm sorry.
Well, if you're like me, you can't do it till you come out. You can't do it while you're live, no way.
No,
on the phone.
I can't do it. I can't do it when I'm live. Can I do it on? I can't do it. I don't know how to do it on telephone either.
Well, they won't do it live on a telephone. That's what I use all the time, is telephone. I think you can do it on a PC, but I wouldn't know exactly how to do it. I'm not very good with technology. I ain't been messing with it about a year, and I've been mostly with this phone. I got to get me some good internet so I can start back using my PC. I was pecking around on that a little bit, but I don't even remember what I learned. I start all over again if I ever get internet. I'm going to wait to list 2 or 3 different waiting lists to get some internet in my area. Just worth a crap.
Well, CP got his off a satellite. It does good, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he has to pay for it.
I don't know. Some of that stuff gets right expensive.
But he, during that ice storm, he called me. He said, man, I lost my internet. He said, I think the satellite done froze up. He said, I'm going to go out there and hose it down. Then, well, look now, he went out there with a garden hose and hosed that thing down for I don't know how long, and his internet came back up. He went out there and watched what melted the ice off of it. SCP.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. It ain't hard to do. But I'm just saying, you can't just pop in there and think you're going to get in the drawing for the real. There's certain things they want you to do to qualify to be in the drawing. And what they want you to do is helps promote their channel and make their channel grow. So, it's a good thing what they're doing. But it ain't nothing hard. Nah.
I won. Hey, 50 cents. I won something other day off the internet.
What's up, 50 Cent?
In a live stream. Let me get this thing. Y'all might be interested in seeing.
Hey, Century.
They I was watching a podcast the other night, and they gave us away. How do I do this? Like this?
Yeah.
And I forget how I won it. I don't remember whether I guessed a number or they picked my name off of a way. I can't remember how I won it. But anyway, I want y'all to see that. That's pretty neat right there. That's a percussion cap in the top up there, that piece of thing.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell where it came from. The percussion cap came from out of Virginia. The pistol ball came from Shiloh. The 69 caliber round ball from Middle Tennessee and the 58 caliber 3 ring came out of Virginia.
Nice.
That's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was too, in a nice little display case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
I bet that cost some money.
Hey, yeah, Central, what's up, 50 Cent? How you doing this evening?
Hey, man, you decided to get up. Boy, you got that evil look in your eye.
Uh-oh. Don't mess with him, then he get you.
No, I know better than reach over there right now.
I hear you, yeah, Central. I'm doing the same thing, buddy, just hanging out.
Man, I got to get up in the morning and go to Jackson.
I'm going to Jackson.
Going to mess around.
Jackson Town.
But we ain't leaving here till about 7:30, I don't guess. No, we're leaving at 9. Yeah. But hey, I went to bed last night at 11 o'clock. Had a dream. Listen to this, CP. You in here, Charles?
He was in here a minute ago, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably still back. I want to
Yeah,
make
he's
sure.
probably listening.
I had a dream that it was raining, like done rained and rained and rained, and the yard was muddy. And me and my buddy from Kansas, Dale, was out in the front yard walking down the driveway in the grass. And Dale didn't have a one leg, he had a metal leg. And he was carrying a baby wrapped up in like a duffel bag to keep it dry. And we was walking down the grass beside my driveway. And when we got down close to the street, for some reason, we had to cross the driveway. And I walked on across the driveway, and I was standing over on the other side of the driveway. And when he was coming across that driveway with that leg, he slipped and fell on that baby. Out in the grass, right there at my feet. And we was down on our hands and knees uncovering that baby to make sure. And he landed with his elbows. I mean, it was so real, man. He had his elbows to keep from hurting that baby. And the baby was fine, and I woke up. It's 3 o'clock. And I laid there in that bed, thinking about Dale Finney. He gone now. He's a friend of mine in Charlie. And I couldn't go back to sleep. So I got up and went in the kitchen at 4 o'clock. I lay there an hour. Me and Lucky went in there and I cooked sausage and biscuits at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I sat there and ate me 2 biscuits with a maple syrup on it and 2 sausages.
That sounds pretty good.
Well, at 4 o'clock in the morning, though, man. And I left it all covered up over there on the takeoff. I went to bed at 5 o'clock. Kay gets up at 6.
Shoot, I eat that time. That's most time I eat breakfast every morning.
But man, that was crazy to go to bed at 11 o'clock and wake up at 3 and can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, I do that quite often.
And then got up at 8:30 and started making that soup. Hey, Steve Loke.
Hey, Steve Loke, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, Steve Loke?
I made 3 gallons of soup, man. That soup is good too.
Heck yeah, I like soup anytime.
I put 2.5 pounds of. We didn't have no stew meat, so I cut up a chuck roast.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty good. That'll work.
Bro, I don't remember. It's a pretty good piece of meat for stew, though. Yeah, I went up there to Kroger's the day before yesterday to get the stew meat. Because when I make 3 gallons, and then we sack it up, and freeze it. You know how you do. So you can have it anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have no stew meat at Kroger's at the grocery store. And they said the truck was supposed to have been there Monday, and this was Thursday. He said, I reckon the ice and stuff must have them. We don't know what's on them, but we're running out of meat now. And we had this meat in the freezer already. But, yeah, I guess I don't know. Hey, Eric, I didn't have any. I made chili out of all the deer meat I had. Well, that sausage was deer sausage that I cooked this morning, though. There's Eric.
What's up, Eric?
What you looking at, Lucky?
You've been here a little while. I think I hollered him a little earlier in the stream.
Who is that?
Eric.
Oh, that's the first time I've seen him.
Yeah, I hollered him a little while ago.
Hey, buddy. You
Keep been hanging in there with you.
You getting ready to slap me now, aren't you?
Heck yeah, he's awake now.
I'm gonna reach over and get this thing, see if I get slapped.
What's going on, Steve Loke? How you doing, bud? Well, that's the one of Stan, Angelina, Turtle Lady. Either one of y'all still in here. If y'all all make yourself known in chat, please, because I think Miss Melissa wants to talk to you about something.
Hey, Eric, you missed out on that first gallon of sauerkraut. It's gone. And the jar's clean.
Yeah, Lance up in here, bud. Steve Lowe, Lance up in here on panel. First time I've been on panel with Lance and a regular wild end land.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Hell, during the week, I'm in bed usually by 9 o'clock. About nine
Yeah,
o'clock, 9:30.
yeah, yeah. I know you got to lay down for work. I've been a couple of your lives when you've been burbot fishing, but I hadn't been up on panel with you in a while.
Yeah,
A good while, man.
you don't like me no more.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
do. I wouldn't come in your hey knucklehead. I wouldn't come in your lives if I didn't like you.
That's right, Eric. I sure did.
Sometimes I just go on a live and lurk too.
Sure did.
Yeah,
Just depending on what I feel like doing all that typing. And I done got used to being up on panel and talking, and I don't care much about all that typing it anymore. But I
yeah, I
do it
know,
sometimes.
man. There's a lot of lives I go into. I just let it run,
Yeah, me too. I'll
and I
lay back.
can't. I can't do that voice to text because it don't. My
Oh
southern
man,
accent, man. That yeah,
yeah, it tears it all to pieces, man. All kind of gibberish come out, man. I can't even read it myself. I'm like, good Lord, what was that? Yeah, it don't work too good for me.
they ass century.
50 Cent, how big a jar did you make?
Oh,
You
he done
said
made some.
you said you finished it. Did you mean finish making it or finish eating it?
I'll finish getting it in the jar so it can ferment me.
He said he finished his second jar. I was just wondering if that mean he ate it or if he just finished making it.
Hey, Lance, you see
David
what David
Smith.
Smith had?
That stuff is good, man. It'll last forever. I've had this new box I got in. I've had about almost a year now. It's been sitting in the car. It's good to go.
Yeah, most of that stuff is made to last a long time.
Yeah. There's some new bait I'm using too now. That Blue River carp uh bait is Asian carp.
Lance, I'm getting ready to order me some bank rod holders so I can use it at dog. I want to try the dog. If I like it, I'm gonna order some more of them. Dog. I'm gonna try to run 2 or 3 rods with them, but I might stretch them out down the bank away from it so that thing can set the hook on it,
Yeah.
and I can just keep an eye on it. Then I have like 3 or 4 right there in front of me while I keep an eye on regular.
Yeah, if you order them, just use my promo, man. Lance5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
That
thinking about.
usually save
I
you
want.
a little bit of money.
Yeah, I want that one you sent me. I want to try that on a rod holder first and see how I like it. I think I'm gonna like it pretty good because I watched some videos and stuff on it. You know, he puts 8 videos on it. That guy was sells them or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've been watching some of them. I think it'd be pretty cool, especially if you got rods away from you. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing. You'll be able to spread your rods out more.
Yeah, I
Good,
think I'm
good
gonna.
deal, Eric.
Think I'm gonna
I
get
want.
in
I
on it.
sold I sold two of the Guard Dog Pros at work today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about getting the pros. They just come out there.
Yeah.
What them things cost, Lance?
Uh Online $19.95. Free shipping.
Free shipping.
Yes, sir.
And you order them off of a website?
Yeah. Guard Dog Pro Guard Dog guarddogproducts.com.
Okay. I might get me 3 of them, 2 of them,
Yeah,
2 of
okay.
them.
I like them. What I see, man. I
Yeah.
want to try them. Lance sent me one a few months ago, but I ain't had no rod hold. I always just put mine in a little forked stick and then just turn my click on. But I'm gonna order me 2 or 3 rod holders because if I do that, I probably stretch like 3 out with them on it. And I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna like them. I think that's what I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna get me some of them takedown rod holders. I like the way they look pretty good.
Man, them the new Guard Dog Pros, man, they're lightweight. They're lightweight, they're good.
Let me ask you this, Lance.
Yeah.
You said they work on 10-foot pole,
Yeah,
or
you
you got,
can.
or
They'll
you got
work
to
on
add
a 10.
string to them.
They'll work on a 10-foot pole.
All right, and you tie the string off with that on the rod holder.
Yeah, on the rod holder, or you can put a tent stake, man. Right, you can hook that tension line to a tent stake in the ground
Um,
too.
yeah, see the places we fish, Eric and I fish. That ain't. I don't believe that'd work.
Yeah,
Uh,
you do right off the rod holder,
We'd have
or
to
you
do
can
it
do
off
it
the rod
on.
holder.
I've done it on the reel handle.
We'd have to do it on
After,
the rod holder.
Yeah, that was one
yeah,
of the questions I was going to ask you too, Lance. Where you put this string at? But Coach beat me to it. But yeah, that's the only thing I seen in all the videos. He explained on how you adjust it and set it on the outlets, but he never said about what you do with the string down at the other end. Where would you put it at and everything? So
Where do you when you on that when you fishing on that rail, you got it tied to the rail length?
yeah. What I did is I found some wraps that you can use over and over instead of like I was using zip ties.
I
But
got you.
this dang thing, man, you can. What I do is I found these things that you can wrap around, tighten them down,
All right.
and yeah. What
Now
I
help
do,
me out here. You got it. You got it out there on the end of your pole. Got it all
yep,
set. Got your pole bent. Now, when a fish strikes and that thing goes off, does it come off of the pole?
yeah,
It falls
yeah.
off.
That guard
Melissa,
though, what it does. Hold on, I'll show you real quick.
Melissa, his code is Lance 5.
Yeah, there you go, David.
That's what
So
he
this
told me.
part here,
Oh, there
that
you go.
nose
Wonderful
right
guy.
there,
Yeah, I
that's
watched it. I
sitting in the
watched it.
top of the eye,
Yeah, I watched it
and
live on.
so when that fish grabs, your line's running right through the middle here.
Right.
That fish pulls, that's just gonna pull it out.
Yeah, I got you. And it falls on the ground
Yes, sir.
in the mud, about knee deep mud. Now, what do you do after you land the fish?
No problem.
And you got this thing, that thing, and it's covered in mud. Well, now what I do? Throw it out in the water and pull it back in and clean it off.
Yeah, especially with this one. This is made out of aircraft aluminum. That won't rust on you.
Now, that's what
I
I'm
re-
seeing. I'm seeing keeping it clean because I'm sure it's got to be clean to operate correctly. What do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think?
Keep
yeah,
that hook clean.
yeah.
At
You
least.
just hold your line, hold your string, and just toss it in the water.
Well, it ain't no way not to drop it in the mud, Matt. If the fish strikes and it comes off, it's gonna fall in the mud and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
see where we fish. And I was just wondering I guess you have to take a rag and keep it with you and keep it clean.
that, or you can just toss it in the water.
Toss it in the water, take your fingers and run up down the string and get all the mud and stuff off of it.
Man, I can't even get to the water in some of these places.
Well, I
Yeah,
know how that is
You
too.
know, it's so muddy.
you
I
keep
wanted
that rag there.
Eric's right here. I would have wanted him to get involved in it because he knows what I'm talking about in some of these spots.
I've
But
been researching though. I've been watching them videos, man. I'm into it. I think I'm gonna get into them. Run 2 or 3 of them anyway.
I was watching the live when you had him up on your live, Lance. I watched that whole thing. I
Yeah.
didn't ever say nothing, but I sat there and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested in them.
And these, they're good. I mean, if
I'm
they
just
weren't,
trying
if
to
I
look
didn't
at.
believe they work, if I
I'm
didn't
just trying.
believe in them, I wouldn't be using them.
All
Yeah,
I'm trying
that's
to do
what
is
I
look at
figured
all the
too.
scenarios.
Do you ever miss any hookups with them?
Oh yeah, there's nothing
Shoot, yeah.
100%.
Right. I figured it. I mean, sometimes it might not hit it quite good enough to get the hook in them, but good enough to set that thing off is what I was thinking.
Right. I've had them where they short strike. They just hit that bait.
Yeah.
Look at
They
him.
just yank on the bait, but they ain't get the hook.
Look, Lance. CP's about to have a stroke. He don't even know what we're talking about. Have you got a rod and reel? You can set it up right there, home.
No, I don't. Let me see.
CP. It's a hook setter. It sets a hook for you on one of your poles. If you happen to be looking away and get a good strike, it sets a hook on the fish.
You don't have to be sitting right up on your poles because it'll take care of setting the hook for you. You can have them sitting away from you, just watch it. When that thing goes off and the rod pops back up straight, you know it had a bite. Then it probably get to bending over with the fish.
There you go.
Yeah,
Melissa put it up there, CP.
gives you time to go get it. Before he pulls it over. There you go. That is link. Use code Lance5. You get a discount.
This is the second edition of this thing. The first one was great, and this one is supposed to be, and it looks to be even greater. And Lance is the first one I ever heard talking about him last year. He's got some.
The
Yeah.
new ones, these Guard Dog Pros, man, they
You
won't
finna set
rust.
one up?
The Guard Dog Pro will not rust at all.
How'd I make you full screen?
Just tap on it.
Yeah, just tap on my screen.
Shit, that ain't working.
You gotta
Ain't
tap
holding
on
right.
mine.
Huh?
You ain't hold your mouth right. You eat too much fermented cabbage.
Tap on what?
You just gotta tap on my screen.
I am tapping on your. Oh, okay. I see the little spot there now. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord. What happened?
Yeah.
That ain't right. I got chat hidden and everything. I got to go back here. I can't make you. I don't know how to make you large. What about this? No.
You use the phone, Coach?
No.
I thought if you would, you hit up on there where it says more, tap that, and it would tell you layout. You hit go into layout. You just hit your single layout, and then you tap on Lance, and it'll pop up.
Yeah, it preloads the rod. That's
Yeah.
right, CP.
I got a short, Melissa. If you can find that short, you can see how that guard dog goes off.
It's a bunch of videos out there. That guy was sells them got a bunch of them out there too.
Yeah. You can even go to the website, and Monty's got videos on there.
Yeah. I think I watched some of them on there too on the website.
Oh man. I don't know how to do it, and I've done it before, and I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it from the computer.
Me neither, because all I use is a phone.
Yeah.
Thus far, all I use is my phone.
Well, I have done it in here before, but I can't figure out how to do it again.
I got a PC and a daggone tablet too, but I ain't got no internet. Got a hotspot, but it ain't worth a crap. It'll do good
Oh
for
yeah,
a few
half
days.
century. This thing, man, it's done caught a lot of fish out from under the ice. There's a guy. He's pro staff. He's up in Colorado. Randy Cora. He's caught a lot of fish up ice fishing already using this. There's guys in Indiana that they go trolling for stripers, man. They use the guard dog. So you can use it trolling, dragging.
Yeah, I seen it in the videos the other day. They was trolling for stripers and had them on their rod.
Heavy current, low current. It's got all kind of. It's got settings on it that you set it for heavy current and slack.
Yeah. So if you're in extremely heavy current like you are, Coach,
Yeah.
you put that thing all the way towards the rod like that, and this nose here, that nose right there will go deeper into that rod eye.
Deeper into the rod. I saw
Yeah,
that.
deeper into the outlet. Yeah, that makes it strong.
Yeah. You go way over towards the water. That'll bring that nose all the way.
It tripped real easy.
Barely, man, a bluegill will touch that thing and you'll hook a bluegill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to use it for bluegill fishing this year just to show people.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because a lot of times I throw it a bait rod, but I don't watch it. And I get a bite of something, don't even know I done got it. I was thinking about doing it with my bait rods. You know?
You can do that. Just set that sucker all the way to the lightest setting that you can.
Yeah.
Man, that thing
if you got a pretty good pole, you ought to sling that perch back up on the bank up yonder somewhere.
That's what I want to use it for, try for bait fishing.
David Smith got a question.
That's a good question, David. I don't know anybody that's used saltwater fishing, but I know in heavy current they'll work.
That would be something interesting to try, David. You can make a video on that, man. Show us how it does.
Yeah, David, that'd be really good to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see that myself, David. See how it works on them waves crashing on the surf fishing.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
They can't be used on an extremely. Your rod's got to have some bend to it. It can't be a super stiff rod.
Right. It's got to be flexible.
You do gotta be able to bend that rod tip a little.
Well, if I'm on the beach, the last thing I'm gonna be looking at is that guard dog.
I know what you gonna be looking at. The copper tone girls, what you gonna be looking at?
I'm gonna be looking for me a chartreuse bikini.
I expect you could use it pretty good on a pier too, fishing off piers.
Oh, yeah, most likely.
Yeah, that would work pretty good if you can get a way to put your rod up. I would hold the rod steady.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy these rod holders with a C-clamp. You can C-clamp it to the side of the railing at the pier.
Yep. And
put your rod in. That would work pretty good.
David, I'm gonna be bird dogging. I ain't gonna be guard dogging.
Right. You ain't gonna be bird dog. You gonna be hound dogging.
Hound dog.
You gonna be hound dogging. Yeah.
I'll be on the trail like a blue tick.
I ain't lying. You be trailing.
If I pick out the right one, I'll follow around all day long.
Hey, well.
I'm a dirty old man.
No, you're a human man. That's what you're supposed to do.
That just means you're still alive.
What was you watching, 50 Cent? You was watching YouTube. You was watching Willie T.
YouTube.
You could have been watching. You could have been watching the streets outside of Sloppy Joe. Boy, they got a real good band down there at the Hog Breath Saloon right now. It's a band from Atlanta. She know. She been right here by me for going on 54 years. There ain't nothing I can do that don't surprise her. That surprises her.
She probably got you figured out better than you got yourself figured out.
The only time I've been to the beach, I was with her, and I left and stayed gone an hour and a half following one. My youngest son said, "Mama, where's Daddy go?" I said, "Shit, there's some guy come by in a yellow bikini and he gone." Yeah, I have to wear dark glasses because I get eye strain on the beach. Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh, you was watching the video. You wasn't watching the live stream. Yeah, I know who you talking about. The little blonde girl. I know exactly who you talking about. I watched part of the video. I watched the live streams down there though. Yeah, I was watching them tonight. You know, I used to put a live stream, you know, like y'all be live streaming or something early in the night, you know, some of the shows, and I'd be have that show playing over here on the side, you know, minimize it, and I'd be sitting here listening to that and watching them folks in Key West, and I forgot how much of that bill I got for running over my usage. Because I had 2 live streams going at once, man. Good gracious, for hours. Am I muted?
No,
No, I hear you.
we're listening.
We got you.
Yeah. Well, they still down there, Melissa. I want to be home and watching tomorrow night. So Saturday night would be the big night. They ain't not. There's a whole bunch of old folks in Key West. I'm talking about not. Well, I guess some of them old as me, but they all older people down there now. They none of them young kids running around down there right now for some reason.
A lot of people retire and move to Florida
Yeah.
for the climate. I can't much blame them. I thought about it myself.
There ain't but one thing about living down there. When one of them thundernators come up out there, you got to leave.
Yeah, buddy, you got to have your bags packed at all times.
Yeah, they ain't got it. They wouldn't have to warn me. I'll tell you what. Now, a tornado might get me, but a hurricane ain't never gonna bother me. Yeah. Well, give him some answers. Make up a bunch of answers, David.
Just tell them what the deal is, man. Show them to them.
Yeah.
Y'all make a video on that thing too, man, so we know how it works, Dave. That'd be cool, man.
What you need to do, David, is get you some business cards printed up with your name and your telephone number, and tell them you think that they'll get a discount if they mention that to the owner. And when he gets about 50 calls, and all of them talking about David Smith, he probably gonna send you a couple of them guard dogs free.
Yeah, he might make you pro staff like land.
Yeah, man, you be somebody, boy.
Heck yeah.
David, you buy antique duck calls? Antique duck calls? Hey, Lourdes.
Lordies, what's up there, buddy? From across the water. How's it going, man?
Oh, I got you, Dave. I got a Jensen I need to sell David Smith so he can put it on display.
That's what I gotta do. I gotta get some business cards made up again with all my info on the back of it.
Well, I like to stroke that when I bought stickers, so I know I ain't gonna get no business card.
Stroke day. That's pretty good. I gotta remember that one.
Oh, you don't need. You want to buy an antique? I said an antique. Now I didn't say no duck call. This duck call has got to be golly, it's got to be close to 60 years old. That qualifies as antique.
Man, I think today or a couple of days ago here in Wisconsin, somebody caught like almost a 60-pound muskie.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I think it was in Green Bay.
That was a hoss right there. That's some kind of record, ain't it?
It's close.
I
Oh,
don't
they
think
ate that sucker.
I ain't never heard one being that big.
Yeah. They say up in Green Bay, man, Green Bay, De Pere area, they get huge.
Wow.
I ain't never targeted muskie, so I don't know. My buddy here in a couple of years ago here in Sheboygan, it was back when Audra was going through her other medical issues where she wasn't doing too good. I stayed at the house. He went out by himself during like it was December 31st. He went out, caught a tiger muskie. And come to find out, we started looking up records and he ate a state record.
He ate a state.
Wow.
He ate the state record. He was like, oh, well,
Oh, well.
that thing
Baby
tasted
gone.
He carried my stew sample.
good.
Yeah, I ain't never targeted muskie, but I've caught a lot of chain pickerel and pike and stuff like that now. But I'm pretty sure they're pretty much the same line of fish. I'm sure they fight pretty good, man. Because I know the chain
Yeah, I
pickerel and
bet they
stuff do.
do.
They
See,
fight like a
CP.
devil, man. They're a good fight. I always put them back, but I used to give them away to some people that would eat them. Told me they'd take them, and I'd give them to them. Some
Yeah.
families in the neighborhood, but they done died out now. But they tell me it's good meat, but there's just so many bones in it. But they say it's a way you can clean that thing where you can do away with the bones, and I don't know exactly how to do it.
Yeah, me either. I've heard that. I caught quite a few northern pike.
Yeah, I like to catch them. They fight like a devil, man. And they're brutal. When they bite something, they attack it, man. They don't just tap on it. They're brutal.
Yeah.
I love catching them on top water, man, because they bust the water and tear it up, man.
Yep. Up here, a lot of guys use spinner baits for pike.
Yeah, I've caught right many on spinner baits too. Old Meps spinner bait, man. I
Yep.
caught all kind of fish on that thing, man.
Oh yeah, I got quite a few maps.
Yeah, them things are good, man.
I'm so burnt out on casting. I got all kinds of spoons and stuff. I got spoons laying on my desk right here for salmon.
Yeah.
I got the inline spinners.
What have you got? A lucky 13?
I don't think he heard you, Coach.
Lance, you got a lucky 13?
No.
Oh,
I
hitting
know
lucky
what you're talking
13.
about,
That
but
thing,
I ain't got one.
yeah,
That thing
made by hitting HEDDON, heading lucky
Yep.
13. Them things catch some fish, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
have not, David. I ain't never caught any of that kind of fish. I never fished anywhere but down here.
I never caught a sauger either. I'd like to try that one day.
And I
Oh,
caught a
what?
bunch of mullet. And I done caught them on Rod and Reel Plus. I done caught fishing for skipjack Plus. I done caught a wad of them in a cast net.
Man,
Yeah,
it's
them mullet strike a fly. Or a jig, whatever you want to call it.
I heard that, David. I'd like to do that someday. That's on my bucket list. I don't know if I'll ever get to do it or not, but I'd like to. Hey, that's the miniature pike.
Man, I never have been crappie fishing. I went with a guy one time and trolling, that's what he called it. But I wasn't doing nothing but sitting there drinking beer.
You have a good fishing trip then, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching because I don't even have a crappie pole, but he was wanted to go, and he said, "Come on, go with me." I said, all right.
There you go.
And we got out there in that big old lake. There's an oxbow over yonder, down yonder a little way, 5 or 6 miles. And He's out there suckling around with his trolling motor and had about 7, 8 poles off. You know how they do.
Yeah.
And he finally caught a fish. And I don't know if it's legal what he did or not. I don't know. But he took a little bit of gold brim hook and stuck it through the top fin. What's that fin up on top of a crappie? The dorsal? Is that the dorsal?
Dorsal fin, yeah.
Yeah, that's dorsal.
And he had a piece of monofilament tied to it, about a little lightweight monofilament, about 20 feet long, wrapped up on a pencil. I'll never forget. I wonder, what in the hell are you doing now? He said, we finna catch some fish. And he blew up a balloon, tied a knot in that balloon, and tied the other end of that monofilament to that balloon and threw that fish back in the water. And that balloon went across that lake, and all we did was go around and around that balloon, and I don't know, we filled up a cooler.
Good Lord.
He kept letting them lines down until it up. Some of them he had to pull up, and some of them he had to let down until he started catching fish. And I
Find
said,
out where they was at in the water column for what he was doing.
well, that crappie went back to the school.
Yeah.
And I sat up there in the front and ran up there and ran the trolling motor, and just he told me what to do, and we just went real slow round and around that balloon out there about 7, 8 feet. And man, he wore him out. And then when we got through, I guess he must have been counting, but he pulled that one up and unhooked him and turned him loose.
I hear you, David.
Wrapped everything back up on the pencil and popped the balloon and cut the little end of the line off and throw the balloon in the floor, and we went home.
A chugger spook clear.
Uptown, boy. Yeah, I guess he knew how to catch crappie. I don't know. It didn't look like fun to me, but the eating part would have been fun.
Yeah, man, old crappie lay right good upside a big mound of coleslaw and 2 or 3 hush puppies.
Oh man,
I can tear them bad boys up, man. I hurt myself.
He caught a mess of.
like I said before, this year, man, I'm gonna drop a live 14-inch smallmouth or largemouth. See what takes that.
I heard that. You better believe it's gonna be a nice one.
I caught a bunch of flatheads one day with largemouth bass minnows about 3 or 4 inches long. I think it was 9. I couldn't fish but with one pole, and I couldn't put it in the holder. I caught them bass in the cast net. I was catching them on a sabiki rig right there beside the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Little bass about that long.
Man, that's prime bait, that buddy.
They was 3 or 4 inches, the biggest one, and the whole school they was chasing minnows. Like, what in the world is that? And I threw that sabiki rig in there and caught, I guess, 3 or 4 on the first. The water was shallow. The water wasn't a foot deep. My boat was sitting on the bottom. And I said, well, I'm going to catch me one of them things. I'm going to put one of them things on the hook. And I just got one of them, threw the other back. And that dang bait, I dropped it right off the back of the boat. I was fishing on a ledge about 8 feet deep. And that fish, I never got it in the rod hole. I said, look at here. They wasn't big ones. I don't know, 11 pounds probably out of the 9. 11 pounds is bigger.
Tell you what, though, you catch him all day. That's a fun day.
But when you catching them on, you got out about 12 foot of line. That initial lick was a pretty good lick. And
Right, David Smith.
Hey, kid, he always easy catch.
Yeah, but I never, and I caught them all within. I don't know, couldn't have been over an hour. So I called my buddy. Well, I called Johnny Summers Radish, the one that caught that great big old catfish a few years ago that I talk about all the time. I called him and asked him what was limit on bass, and I think he said 6, 8. I don't know what the limit is, but anyway, I said, "Oh, okay." And so I said, "Well, here, if I get caught, I'll just get caught." I waited for them crappie, them bass to come back up in there, and I threw that cast net in there on top of them and caught about 400. No, it wasn't that, but it was about 60 or 70 of them, and I put them in my live well, turned the pump on, and I pulled on. I made the fish quit biting. They just fed up right there all for about an hour or so. And I went home, put them in my big tank I had back here, and I used them several more times and never got another bite on one. That's just what them flatheads was eating that day at that time. Was them bass?
Yep.
It was in the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny how some days you can go there and just burn them up with their bait and go back, like you said, never get another bite. You think
That's what I'm
you're
gonna do tomorrow.
Do
That
what,
friend
Lance?
of mine that I was talking about that died from Kansas, Dale Finney, that he come down there once a year and stay at the house a week. We fish every day and most nights. Hell, when he leave, hell, I couldn't do nothing but sleep for about 2 days. But we went down, we fished right here in local around Greenville. And I told him, I said, man, we need to go somewhere else. I'm tired of fishing. Let's go down to Myersville. That's about 35, 40 miles south, boat ramp down there. So we got up one morning about 4 o'clock. And we had already got our snacks and stuff the day before. And we had a box of snacks to carry with us. But we was getting up so early, we wasn't nowhere to get no breakfast. And we got down there. It wasn't quite daylight when we got down there and got the boat in. We was going up the river, kind of in the dark, and we got up. I knew a place I wanted to go. We had live bait, we had goldfish, and brim, and bullhead, and we were strictly flathead fishing. And we were going up the river, and it was right at daylight. And on the Louisiana side, I looked up and there's a waterfall coming down the revetment, down them old gray rocks. There's a waterfall coming down about 8, 10 foot long and running into the river. And the skipjacks were working alive. And I said, oh, damn, look yonder. Because you can't, if you're a river fisherman down there, you can't pass up a skipjack day.
That's right.
I don't care how many fish you bite.
I wish we had them.
So I just eased my boat up. The water got shallow and shallow and shallow, but the rocks there had sand covered them. And I just pushed the boat on up on that sand on top of them rocks. And when the motor hit back there, I raised the motor up a little bit, and we were stuck on the sand. And I got my sabiki rig real quick. And the first time I threw out, I caught 5 skipjacks. Had one on every pole. And I gave him one, and I got one, and put the other 3 in a bucket of water. Because they won't live. Skipjacks won't live. When you catch them, they die. Yeah. And we got a pole. We already had a pole ready. And I hooked mine, and he hooked his. And hooked him right up here in the back. And just flipped it out there. We caught in 4 mornings now. Me and him together in that same hole. We went up there 4 mornings in a row, and we caught 42 flatheads.
Wow.
Just like that. And we didn't, I even caught some moon out there that day. But we caught 42 flatheads in 4 mornings. I ain't never heard of that before or since. We sure did. I got it written down in this journal right here. And there we didn't catch no johns. I think 16 to 18 pounds was the biggest one. And look at this, y'all. We were fishing in no more than 4 foot of water.
Yeah, they'll come shallow to feed if there's plenty of bait there. When they're hungry, they'll come shallow.
And when they quit biting, they quit. There wasn't no more. You sit there the rest of the day.
Yep. That's the
Yep.
way it goes, like a light switch. I always say, flip off just like a light switch.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get a bite in 2 or 3 minutes, then you pick up and throw that skipjack in the freezer, in the ice chest, and get another one put on there. Because I was just catching them and catching and handing him one and I get one. We double up constantly. Never put the pole in a rod hole. 4 trips. They were there every morning. And then
That's awesome fishing when you do that, buddy.
I ain't never heard
Yeah.
of such. Never heard of such. But anyway, he was gonna go home and we never did fish the last day because he'd rest up there. We'd rest up around the house and eat good and everything. Because he had to drive all the way back to Kansas. And we fished there 4 days out of the 7. Well, out of actually the 6 days that we fished. And my boat was brand new. It was about the 3rd time it'd been out, 4th maybe. But I'm glad he got to experience that.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here. Thanks for having me up, Coach.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming up.
Good to be up here with you, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang
Been a
around
while,
some
hasn't
more,
it?
but I don't know how long I can stay away.
I'll probably tomorrow. What I'll probably do is I'll break out my little atlas book and look at the dang the Wisconsin River because I want to hit the Wisconsin River this year.
You're not lying, David. As long as they loading out corn, you're all right. When you lay loading out soybeans, you just leave them fish there. You don't have
Yeah,
to put
everybody around.
you don't have to put grease in the pot when you cook them and when they've been eating soybeans.
All right, Lance. Take care, buddy.
Large sand eel. Yeah, we got plenty of eels. The river full of Mississippi River full of eels. I tell you something else we got out there we full of is them big old shrimp. Not grass shrimp, the big shrimp.
Oh man, that's some good eating right there, buddy.
Yeah, when they running, see they come up from the marsh in Louisiana, and they go up the tributaries. All right, the first tributary here is the Arkansas River, and they go all the way to the dam, Wilbur D. Mills Dam at Pendleton, as far as they can go. Then they go up the White River and then go all the way to, I believe it's Duval's Bluff or could be Desert somewhere. It's a weird crossing, but sometimes they keep going on the White River. And then the next one up is the St. Francis at Helena, Arkansas. And they go up the Big Black down at down south of me about 100 miles. But here, people put traps out, catch them, and eat them.
I don't blame them, man.
Yeah, and the commercial boys put out traps and sell them at the fish markets. Plus, they bait with them. They'll put out, if they run in lines.
Yeah.
But most of these boys here, they'll run lines occasionally. All right, Eric. See you later.
Take care, Eric.
They run lines occasionally, but most of these boys here run hoot nets. And some of them that run seines, deal nets for them old buffalo and things in the lake. But my son and my oldest boy, that's a professor over there at the University of Central Arkansas, him and one of the federal boys, or I believe he's federal, name is Lindsey Lewis. Lindsey was researching those shrimp, and They went all up and down the Mississippi and the White and Arkansas, St. Francis, setting out traps and catching them, at certain times of the year.
Yeah.
And so Reed was here at the house for something. I don't remember even what time of year it was, but they were here for something. And I got there some minnow traps out there in my utility shed. And he asked me, he said, "You got any minnow traps?" And I said, "Yeah, I got 2 or 3 out there in the utility shed." And he went out there and looked at them and got them. He said, "Let's go catch some shrimp." I don't care about catching no shrimp. He said, "Yeah, let's go over to the park and catch some shrimp." Well, he's raised there. He knew what was over there.
Yeah.
He took them 3 traps and went down that bank, down that rock, them gray rocks, that some of the places are lined with, and stood there and looked up and down that. I stood up at the top, and he looked up and down there and saw them current breaks and this and that and the other he wanted to see. And he went down there, threw them 3 traps out, and we sat up there in the truck, drank a couple of beers, watching the towboat. He said, "Well, I'm gonna go down there and get these shrimp." Yeah, go ahead. That ain't no telling how I don't believe he could put another shrimp in either one of them traps.
Good Lord.
And he looked at them and diagnosed them and all that, and then walked down the boat ramp and turned them loose. I said, "Lord have mercy."
Oh, you didn't keep none?
Nah, he was just checking to see if he could catch them right there.
Man, I'd save some to eat, man. I'd have fired them up and cooked them.
Well, I'm thinking, and I don't understand why, because back when I first started out there on the river when I was 16, 17 years old, we always carried a box of shrimp. Okay?
Yeah.
We had worms and shrimp and chicken livers. We always had that kind of bait. We always had a bunch of bait in them old Zepco reels.
Yeah, I fish with shrimp a lot myself.
And we didn't ever catch nothing on those shrimp.
I don't know. I've caught some.
Yeah, but they that plentiful out there in the river. I can't. Well, of course, we were fishing off sandbars too. We wasn't fishing like I fish now, but
Mostly what I catch is channel cats. I have caught a few blues, small blues, but most of the channel cats off shrimp.
man, that them fish are feeding like hell on them shrimp out there in that river. They feed. If you can catch them in a minnow trap with no bait, them catfish just laying in them rocks with their mouth open.
Yep. But it probably just certain times of the year. They know, them fish know when stuff like that's running and working.
Yeah, when they're running,
Yeah, when they're running, they're probably a hot bait. But when they ain't running, they probably might get a straggler here and there, but you ain't gonna catch much.
But I think them shrimp, but I don't want to tell a lie. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. When them shrimp go up there and breed, or whatever it is you call it, what they do, and they lay all them babies, have all them babies go back to the coast, and all the adults die. And then the next year, when they come out of the marsh, it's the babies that go back, and they go back to the same place.
That's kind of like salmon. Salmon do the same thing.
But Lindsay and Reed have done all that research. But I don't know anybody that's ever. Now, well, I do know one fella used to catch him. He gone now, but his daddy was a commercial fisherman, and Mike he catch them. He putting traps out, and he'd have a feed over at his house. Ball and things, man, they's good. Big old shrimp. They were big old shrimp. I don't know what the count would be on.
What's up, Mr. Duggar?
Hey, Duggar. Yeah, Duggar knows about them shrimp. Duggar, when them shrimp come out of the marsh and come up here and breed, don't they all die and the babies go back to the marsh? Didn't I tell that right? Or am I wrong on that? Duggar knows. You know, I can't even tell you what time of year it is that they run. They come up. Spring, probably. I don't remember.
I don't know. I never been nowhere where they had shrimp running like that.
Hey, Mark, how you feeling, buddy?
What's up there, Mark? What's flathead? What's going on, bud?
How you feeling, Mark? They still alive. What does that mean? I thought that somebody died when they come up here. I don't know. I may be wrong. Hell, I don't know. I thought some of them died when they bred. Spawn. Spawn. That's the word I was looking for. How you feeling, Mark? He been under the weather.
There's a lot of crap going around now.
At least
He
I
got
think
some.
I saw somewhere where he was been sick.
He he been having some rough weather up that way there too.
Oh, you know, last week him and his wife went out honky tonking, and hell, it got him.
Yeah, that's what it is. The honky tonk got him there.
He thinks he's 25.
He can't go there twerking and hanging out, drinking the can on all night. He done got too old for that crap, man. When you gonna learn, knucklehead?
What did he say? No, it's a smell I ain't washed in a week. Shrimp don't die while it's when they spawn. Well, I must be wrong. I thought they did. But anyway, they come from the marsh and come up here and spawn, and I don't know what they do then. I don't know. I'm crazy. I may be thinking about something else Reed told me. That was Lyle that was sick. I thought it was Mark that was sick.
Yeah, Lyle been feeling under the weather too.
Well, maybe it was Lyle.
Mark, a few
I
weeks
thought,
ago, Mark was sick.
I thought it was Mark. Maybe it was Lyle.
Yeah, Lyle been feeling rough the last couple of weeks. A month or two ago, Mark was sick, but I think he's doing a little better now.
Well, Melissa, you tell Hogleg that since he can't come up on my live, I ain't never coming up on his again.
Uh-oh.
He's driving the truck. Right,
Mark said he might be sick, but it's in the head. Hey, but
he quit smoking. Well, that's good. If he quit smoking and can hang with it.
that's right, Melissa. He ornery. He said that the other night, didn't he? Said he was ornery.
Yeah, he hung up on that truck driving game. Yeah, I'm gonna get on him while he wants everybody to support him, but he don't want to support nobody. Ain't that right, KP?
Oh, Lord. I don't know, man. You trying to put me up in the middle of something here now.
I'm just joking. You don't make me no
I know
joke.
you are, buddy. I know you are.
October, November. Well, that would be right because that sounds. I guess that's right because they come in. He's always here for Thanksgiving, and that's November. But is that what we getting up here, Duggar? Is brown shrimp? Hell, they look clear to me. I'm sticking them bears and woods have rotten and less desperate. Darn, I'm in UK. No wonder I got no friends. Georgia's a good place to be from, half century.
Yeah, Georgia's a good state. I used to run Georgia
Yeah,
a lot in the old truck.
it's a good state to get out of and don't never go back. I like shrimp spawn in spring around me. Well, I don't know, Doug. You throwing more at me than I can comprehend. Which one of them is the one we eat up here, Doug? White or it got to be the white ones. They pretty good size shrimp. I don't know what the count would be on them, but they pretty good size shrimp. There's plenty there to eat. But anyway. Well, say something, Kenny.
Hey, what's up?
Get them. I'm running out of topics. We done covered the guard dog. That's somebody.
Sound like somebody coming in.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
What's up,
Hey,
man?
Doug.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Tell us about them shrimp coming out of Louisiana to Mississippi.
Yeah, you actually get you get both of them. You know, your brown shrimp will come up in the estuaries. That's why they shut it down for a little while the shrimp get back there in the bays. You know, and then they open it up as they start coming back out to the bays. You'll get the, you know,
Be careful.
20, 26, 31s, somewhere around there. You know, coming out the biggest ones. The bigger shrimp they'll breed offshore. The white shrimp they'll come up in the estuaries. You know, up in the springtime, in the May and stuff. You know,
is that you calling? That's what comes up here.
Yeah, well, you get both of them actually. You get like the brown shrimp come in there, and you know the fall, and the white shrimp actually come in there during the spring.
All right, what's a white shrimp look like? Clear?
He'd be kind of clear, but you know when even the brown shrimp would look kind of clear.
I will. I didn't know that.
When they die, you can tell a little better. You can tell better, you know, actually how they come out the shell is and stuff like that. You got pink shrimp here too. You got around you guys, y'all got pink shrimp too. So y'all got all kind. You know, it's pretty healthy. It just comes in and goes out. That's why they stop the bay fishing, the shrimping for a little bit. When they're up in the estuaries, you know, and then they'll open it back up. That's why they have seasons on shrimp.
I got you.
You know,
well, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
But I would love to be able to catch some shrimp. That'd be nice.
When they come, if you can catch them coming out of that estuaries, you know, and right along the coast there, you know, mouths of rivers and stuff like that. A lot of times you can get out there with a cast net when they're coming out there, and you know, and you get some 26-30s out of there sometimes, you know, and you know, 36-42s, you know, that kind of size.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get it. You know, they can breed, they can spawn several times, and they will spawn several times, so they don't die when they have ones.
Yeah. But the little ones swim all the way back to the marsh.
Well, they stay back in the marsh and they go to try to find them some dirty water somewhere where they can get big.
Well, look,
then they'll come out.
You talking about catching with a cast net? We were. I don't know. It was a bunch of us. We were up we putting in a boat ramp. It was on the White River, and we had to run 10 miles out to the Mississippi. And my son that I was talking about was with me on that trip. It was, I don't know, 7, 8 boats of us up there camping and going out fishing. Yeah. And we were coming in late one afternoon, that 10-mile stretch. I don't remember what time it was or nothing. But Reed's always, he's an ichthyologist. He's always looking at stuff in the water and all that junk. And he said, "Oh, Daddy." And there's old wooden pilings down the side of the White River. They had driven them old wood posts in the ground and try to stabilize the banks. It was like a seawall. That's what the word I'm looking for. It's been there forever. I went up there in the 60s first time, and it was there then. And it's about 200 or 300 yards of it. And he said, "Oh, Daddy, go over there by the seawall, and he said, "Go slow." I went over there, and man, them shrimp were working alive over there.
Yeah,
You could see them. What do you call that when they porpoising a little bit, flicking?
when they flipping.
Yeah, man, it was
they trying to
thousands.
get away from something. What they're trying to
There
do?
was thousands of them over there. I said,
some
"Oh,"
underneath
he
their
said,
ass.
"That's shrimp. That's shrimp."
Yeah, yeah. I'm sometimes we used to take cast net and we'd throw the cast net to catch shrimp, and then we'd use some of the shrimp to catch the fish. Then we'd play the fish and put them on strings and catch crab and just have a fish feast. And
Sounds good, man.
I mean, I love me some blue crab. I walk 10 miles to catch some good blue crab. I love that shit. That's the best thing in the world.
I got a buddy that lives over at Abbeville.
Abbeville, I've been in Abbeville.
And he fishes, he catfishes out there in the marsh somewhere out there, and some of them.
That's over there, the Chapalaya. That's up the Chapalaya.
But when he goes out,
Springs,
certain times a year when he goes out, he'll come back in with catfish, redfish, and red drum, and he'll set out traps and have shrimp and crabs.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Cooler full of seafood. I never.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing. I used to do the same thing where I'm from.
Yeah.
We had two rivers that piled in right there, and I fished I've set crab traps, ran trout lines, went out there, and I set trout lines in saltwater for drum and sheephead and stuff. I was a commercial fisherman, so if it swam, I stuck a hook in it. And I tell you, about all the fish, I really love eating a sheephead. Now I don't know, a lot of people wouldn't eat a sheephead. They don't understand how good they are. And a small puppy drum, they're pretty good. Them little whitings, I love eating them things.
Whiting,
yeah, that's a good sandwich fish right there, boy.
That's somebody. Heck, I don't know how to get them up here because I can't see them good enough to get them up here. I tell them to hold on. I gotta. How do I get down there where I can see them?
Click on them.
No, I can't see them. My tab is covering them up. Let me see about this right here. There you go. Look who that is. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, what up?
You're muted.
Oh, yeah.
Got the unmuted.
And now she's unmuted, but I must have kicked her out.
Look at you. How you going to act?
All I did was click on the microphone.
Yeah, probably took herself out. She is popular.
Come on back, Melissa.
She does that a lot. She don't want to talk to her.
She's trying to get that $100 from her.
You know how it is.
That's what it is. You want to do it when they're talking.
I don't know. Her mic was muted, but when I clicked on her, okay, I went up there. That's all. She dropped out. I got it. It wasn't me.
Yeah, she done.
She came up there, but she left. Now she wants her money.
She didn't say nothing. She had to come over here and talk to her.
He didn't say she had to talk.
It was probably hog leg. It was just a logo. It wasn't her.
It had her icon.
Yeah, a hog trying to get him some honey bun money.
Yeah, what are you doing? He told Melissa he'd do his split it, give her $50. He'd keep $50.
Well, I give Melissa anything she really needs, but I wouldn't give Hog Leg the time of day.
Oh, that is. Oh man, I hope poor little hog ain't listening to that.
He pretty much
wrong, Coach.
He pretty much a sorry human being.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Well, look at him. Kenneth can say what he wants to, but Kenneth was in every conversation I had with him about that camper. Kenneth was in it. He was sitting right there listening to it.
Oh, yeah, I heard.
And Kenneth knows how sorry the boy is.
Yeah, you pretty much give it to him.
And then Charles tried to give him a metal detector.
I thought he was gonna come to Mississippi and get that camper though. I believe if you'd have given it to me, I would have.
What kind of camper you got, Coach?
I'd have
I
found
had,
another
I
some
had.
kind of way.
Damn, I got a back of a truck. I need a camper for.
No, this is a pull type pop up with a slide out on it. Sleep
What?
6 had 3 double beds in it.
Oh man.
Hey, Melissa said hog leg said I heard that, Coach. Ha
I don't care. I'll tell him.
ha. I know you will.
I kind of thought he'd listen.
Yeah, he's listening.
Can't help it. But
He played his truck
was
game.
gone.
He trucking
That
up.
was gone now.
I might actually go try to wet a hook tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
I didn't check the weather though. God dang it, I forgot. It was supposed to. Last time I looked, I think it was going up. So I'm gonna check and make sure. But
I don't think I'm going. It's supposed to be 13 degrees here in the morning, 14.
well, I think it's supposed to get up in the 40s tomorrow. So
Yeah, key
I
word
can handle
there is,
40s.
Kenneth, you just told a dang lie.
What?
You ain't thinking about going fishing.
No, I thought about going, no joke, but I ain't going. It's going to be no 13, 14 degrees anymore.
Ain't happening.
No, indeed.
Let's
Too
see.
cold for me.
You ain't
One day next week, I got to look back again, but one day next week supposed to be up in the 60s.
It's currently cloudy and 30 degrees.
No, I ain't letting
Hell,
hog leg.
it's gonna be 56, 53 degrees tomorrow. Shoot, yeah,
Well, that
I'm
ain't bad.
taking my fat ass fishing.
You can put on enough clothes to stay warm that cold.
Well, I ain't gonna
Hey,
fish for an hour or
Steve,
two anyway.
you see what Melissa said?
I
Melissa
saw.
said, Coach Hogleg said he was going to come up, but after that, nah.
I saw it. Melissa, you be sure and tell him he ain't invited.
He rescinded it.
Mark says 8 degrees where he's at. Ooh, dog.
Ooh,
Yeah,
it's been cold here. It just finally started getting a little bit of warm up.
he's up there in that Lance Cool guy territory.
Yeah, he ain't far from him.
Who's that?
Mark, Catfish and Crab.
Oh yeah.
He's
Going
west of
Burbot.
Chicago a little way.
Oh yeah, they get some nasty weather up there.
Hey,
Yep.
Dave Smith. What name did Susquehanna Stan say he put on his truck? I can't remember. He done named his truck now. He done named his vehicle. What was it, Kenny? You was
I
in
don't
there.
forget what he called it now. I can't remember that. I know he named it something, but I can't remember the name.
He ought to name it Stump Jumper. or bumper jumper or something. Cause he's terrible driver.
He done it on purpose. I'm gonna say he's playing suicide. No, I'm
bound
doing suicide, miss.
He ain't nobody that bad. Troy wasn't even that bad when he was starting out.
Yeah, I hear you, Mark. It's been cold here too. It just like I say, it just warmed up.
With hog legs, what he did. Yeah, it's supposed to be cold here, then it's gonna warm up a little bit the next couple of days. Sometime next week, supposed to high to 60s in the low to mid 60s.
It's cold in Mississippi too.
Mexico.
If it don't rain and get that warm, I'm gonna have to go try to catch me some panfish.
What is the temperature in Pecos, New Mexico?
It's 29 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's 29 here right now.
That's what it is here. 29. Is that what was up there? 29? Or was it 27?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Forecast
no, it's 29 here.
Should be sunny in Elephant View, New Mexico today.
Damn.
That's cold for Mississippi. I'm gonna tell you.
It's 64 down there where Chris is at.
50 Cent, you coon hunt.
Hey,
I
there
used,
you go, Lordy.
I used to coon hunt all the time. I used to hunt these national hunt coon hunts with dogs, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. I,
I
I
did
love.
too.
Young.
I grew up coon hunting,
Yeah, I did too.
running walkers and plots and a few blues, mountain cur.
Blue ticks and Walker
Uh,
mix. That's
no,
what we
we ran some blue ticks.
English dog. That's what they call them as English. Them Walker blue tick, red tick cross. I mean, red bone crosses.
Man, I didn't know you coon hunted, Butterroll. I don't know how good I can get through the woods, but I love to listen to them run sometime.
Oh man, I can just sit on the tailgate and open a cold beer and light a cigar.
I
Yep.
go twice a year. I'll be, in fact, it won't be long. I'll be going. And I sit on a levee and sit up in the truck with the window down and the heater running and listen to them.
When I was a young and hell, we could get $30-$40 like for a good hide.
Yeah.
And man, I'd fill my old Falcon up with $5 of gas because that's what it took to fill it up. And I had a route I run every day. It was about a 100-mile route. I'm kid you not. Backing around in the swamps and stuff, roads and stuff, and I'd pick up coons people had ran over every night. And I'd pick them up fresh, take them home and skin them. And I'd case skin a bunch of them, but I'd only take my hides every 2 weeks, and I'd stretch. The first week I'd stretch them, then I'd just case skin them because then I'd take my case skin. I got a little extra money for stretching them, but I was greedy. I would just go ahead and take the case money. You know what I mean on the second week. But boy, them guys used to hate to see that kid roll up in that old Falcon because I'd be the first one waiting on the purr buyer.
There you go.
I'd put him out of the market.
Hey, Doug, you ever clean one with an air gun?
Air hose, you mean?
Yeah, air gun on the end of air hose, air compressor.
No, I have not, but I bet that would be cool.
You take him and you cut around one leg,
Yeah.
one back leg.
Blow
You
it
got to
up
have
like
one
a
of them
balloon.
old timey air guns with the spigot on it. Look
Yeah,
like
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you stick that thing, you stick that up in that hide. You had to have a good air compressor. Stick it in that hole on that back leg, and clamp your hand around that air gun and that back leg, and hit that gun. And that hide, that thing blows up like a balloon. You can hear the skin go and come off of that meat.
Wow, that's cool.
And then
I can see it working.
Oh yeah, and you ring them 4 legs, them other 3 legs, and cut him across the tail, and pull that bone out of that tail, and then the hide just falls off down to his head. And, you bring the front legs out, and then you just trim off the head, and you got it.
Yeah, that guy used to laugh at me. He said, "Boy, you get the eyelashes and everything, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I was taught right." You know what I mean?
Well,
Yep. That's the way I did it too. Did it with a
And
knife, just stretch it on the board and flesh it, let it dry.
That's it.
Yep.
we never stretched them. I never stretched one, never fleshed them and all that. But we were selling them by the tail to a fella in Ball Knob, Arkansas.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'd stretch the first week, and then the second week I'd just sell them, cased out ones, because that they didn't have time to dry or nothing.
Look, man, I had one dude. He was big in trapping and stuff. He would buy whole coons from me. We go coon hunt. He'd buy whole coons. It wouldn't be about $5, $8, maybe $8 less than what you get after you done stretched it and fleshed it and everything.
Really? Heck, I
Yep.
sold the meat, the carcasses for $3 to $5.
I can sell
I
that.
had a market for them. The meat.
Well, right now, if I was still coon
Yeah.
hunting, I could sell every coon I kill for $1 a pound. Well, on the scale. Just got to have 1 foot on it.
Yeah, right.
But they thought they was messing me. Hell, I left all 4 feet on. And I sell them feet. I sell them feet over a period of time. It mounts up.
Yeah.
But you know who I was selling to? Two hot tamale stands.
Oh, okay.
And they bought them 50-pound lots.
Do you eat coon?
Me?
Man,
Sure.
I don't eat mini coon. Them things are good. Ain't them lean meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
ate
is.
many of them.
Absolutely. I would eat one day. I wouldn't care. I got a couple about 4 or 5 cottontails running around here in my yard. I think I'm making the pellet gun a couple of them.
Man,
They
that's good eating too now.
they risking their lives every time they go hopping through my yard. I ain't kidding you.
I ain't lying, man. I love some rabbit now. I
Oh
used to
shoot,
catch them
yeah,
when I was young on the farm. I made rabbit traps and rub me an apple all on each
yeah.
side and throw it up in there. When they go up in there and their back hit that trigger and knock it over there, I go in there and get them out
Yep.
and make it. Most time had hash in the morning for breakfast. Make rabbit hash, man. That's some good stuff.
We had big swamp rabbits down there where I was raised in Texas. Big old rabbits, man, almost big as blops. I ain't kidding you. And man, I tell you what, we made a mini of rabbit spaghetti. Yeah, but I like it chicken fried and put in some onion gravy and just sit there and simmer it for about
Oh
45
man,
minutes, an hour. Put it on some mashed taters. Oh my God.
man, you
Or
talking some good
rice.
stuff right now.
Oh yeah, I can throw it down, bro. I'm telling you,
Look,
you
I'm
follow
gonna
me
have to get
around.
off here and go in there. I got some chili in there. I'm gonna have to get some to eat. You make me hungry, man.
I'm getting hungry too, man.
I ain't lying. I ain't had nothing to eat today. Well, I eat this morning about 8:30. I ain't had nothing to eat since.
I eat about 4 o'clock, man. I just, didn't want a big meal, and so I just went in and chopped me up potato and some onions and put about 4 eggs over it and had me a little feast.
Now you go. That's good eating too. I do that a lot. I put peppers in there too. If I got some peppers.
I didn't have any peppers, man. I'd put
All
some
Oh,
right,
in
you
y'all
there.
hold it.
put a
Y'all
little.
get through eating because I got to go to bed.
I'm through eating.
Y'all, when y'all get through eating, I'm gonna sign off.
All right, I
There
can just go ahead
there
and
you
tell
go,
talk to
Bob.
you about shrimp.
Bacon, bacon, bacon.
I got to
Yep.
get up early. I got to get up fairly early in the morning. And
All
it's
right,
Oh yeah.
already
buddy.
early morning.
I'll wait till it
All
warms
right.
up here.
Anytime you want to shut it down, buddy, just say the word. We can shut it down. I'm just up here hanging with
Yeah, I got to go. It's
Coach,
time
you.
to
take
Okay.
get
care of
ready
that little
for
bitty
bed.
self.
I
Well,
appreciate
Hi, everybody,
appreciate
Melissa,
you
Mark,
letting me up
y'all
here.
coming up.
Cat.
I appreciate everybody in chat staying with us. We got 21
Yeah.
folks, fine folks in here, all but Hogley.
Take
And
that shot. What a bird.
I,
You
I'll
know
see
you
y'all
got
later.
some
Yeah,
Y'all
shots
take
coming
care.
back.
Appreciate it, Coach. Enjoyed it,
yeah,
bud.
well,
Oh,
y'all be
he
good.
ain't gonna
Y'all
take
be
it.
good.
Later.
Peace.